You know what that means. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to run this back. Happy Saturday night. Yeah. All right, all systems go. Let's hit it.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Happy Saturday night, everybody. We ringing bells. Yeah. Peace, world, peace. Welcome or welcome back. I am Goddess Dawn, the warrior, coming to you live on this Saturday, August 13th. Actually, no. What is today? Yeah, August 14th. My bad. August 14th, 2021. Just past the 7:20 hour, 7:20 p.m. West Coast, that is, because I'm in Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't know about you. But yeah, West Coast, baby. I'm blessed and happy to be here. Hashtag positive vibes only. Smart people only. Warrior gang, all that good stuff. Let's see who's here. What up, Marcus? Yeah, welcome. Beautiful spirit, daddy girl. Yeah, Miss Della. Aisha Stockton. Let's see. I'm ringing with my left hand. Yeah, we ring bells. Sorry if it bothers you. You can always turn the volume down just a little bit. I don't ring them a lot. But bells have a lot of power behind them. Yep. Calling our angels. Breaking up stagnant energy. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. But thank y'all for being here. And I'm talking about R. Kelly's New York Rico case yet again. I mean, I'm not trying to, honestly, but there are updates. That's what we do. We got to get on them. I'm not trying to be the first one here with the information. However, I'm still going to bring it because, don't nobody bring it like we do. So, but yeah, opening arguments are to begin next Wednesday, August 18th. And my bad, last time we were here, I believe I said that 8/18 was Monday. But that was me getting ahead of things. I've been waiting on this day for some long time. And I know a lot of y'all have. But yeah, one thing about time is that it stops for no one. Yeah, it can be an enemy or an ally, depending on what you are mixed up in. That's why it's always best to stay on the right side of things. Have good intention behind your actions. I mean, I'm not trying to preach tonight, but yeah, but another reminder to protect your energy at all times. Yeah. Speaking of, I had announced that I would be going live with another Messy Monday next week. Really just to prove everything that I said about these YouTube baboons out here who made it their business to interfere in my little battle with Larry. But yeah, I've been proving once again that I was right. It's playing out in real time, y'all. I know y'all are keeping up with this mess. And if you're not, God bless you and more power to you, and stay in that lane. It's the best place to be. But yeah, Larry has once again been proven the ringmaster of this circus, being that it has literally imploded within the couple months that he's been gone. And even before, that the shit was in shambles. defectors messaging me with this and that. Hot ass tea. But back to my announcement for Messy Monday. I have had second thoughts. I mean, I made myself very clear in the beginning. And it's, like I said, playing out in real time for all to see. So, I'm on a whole different frequency, a whole different vibe. So I'm not trying to spend any of my time or energy regurgitating all that negativity going on out there. I told those people to keep my name out their mouths, and they have done just that. So I can't overlook that. I have to let it go. You know what I'm saying? When people do what you say to do, that's what else can you do but keep it moving. So, but before I let it go, I do want to say thanks for showing your asses, your arses, and once again proving me right about the lack of integrity and character that y'all have. And to the one that yells at their child like the child is their worst enemy on the prison yard, pray for your soul and that of your children's. Because Molly, you in danger, girl. Let me spritz my holy water on that note. Let me just hold on. Child. All right. So, welcome, Well Wang. I don't know if I caught you, but what up? All right, so let's move on. Woo. I'm telling you, when people say I created a monster, or you created a monster, somebody creating a monster, there's meaning behind that, okay? I think people don't, I don't even want to say, but basically parenting is a very important job. And, if anything, that's where all your energy and time, heart, blood, sweat, tears, all of that should go into your children. Bitterness and anger and all of that towards your children. And then on live on YouTube for the world to hear, meaning you have no self-awareness about it, which is so dangerous for that child or those children. But let's move on. Speaking of monsters, let's talk about R. Kelly. I'm going to drop the link. So I know a couple of y'all might have a couple things to say. Maybe. I don't know. It's a gamble. I said it. All right. There's the link. Come on in. I'm sorry. I'm in the comments. Let's see. We have some new comments since I was last here. Okay. Y'all are working. Hello.
Hello, Goddess, Miss Della. Happy Saturday.
Love Warrior.
Hello.
Baby Yoda. Ringing bells. What's going on?
Just you chat. It's live. That's what's happening. I'm waiting for it.
Well, you here. What's up?
Yes.
I gotta turn this Bluetooth off. Hold on. It's loud. Okay. I'm good. I'm straight. I am amazing, actually. We just experienced that eight portal opening.
Right.
Turn my volume up. And I'm feeling the energy. I really am. I don't have time for bullshit. I really don't.
Right.
you know, I was going to entertain it just because I felt like I owed it to myself and the people who actually ride with me, who know what's going on with this, and they send me the links and the timestamps. They send me links and timestamps. I get links and timestamps. So I know kind of what's going on, but
we got your back. Anywhere you roll, we got your back. Anywhere you roll. Like you said, they're out of themselves. It's just, and as long as they're not bringing you directly to it, unless you want to address it, if you don't want to address it, we wish you away, guys.
well, you know, I appreciate y'all. But no, I mean, I just wanted to say that in case somebody's wait, because I know there's people who are like, oh, cool, she coming back. That's why they send me stuff, because they want me to address some things. But if it's not addressed to me, you know, but it's just that the matter at hand was related to the you know, the earlier shit. So I just wanted to go full circle. But you know what? It's not even necessary, because anybody out there following this shit knows what it is. You know, you see and hear for yourselves at this point. And if you still don't, you know, if you still in the fog, then yeah, that's on you. And if you're hearing me, that means you're not that much in the fog, because you over here listening. So you good. All right. R. Kelly. So, you know, we were here, Wednesday, and the government had responded. Okay, I think, what did I read last? I think the government had responded to the defense, responding to the government about the motion, the dismissal of motions request, or dismissal of charges, excuse me, request by the defense. So now we are back, and we have yet more responses that have been filed. So I don't know if it's necessary to read all the responses. I'm pretty sure y'all have probably been on other channels. I know they've been reading the stuff. It's 9 pages. I mean, even though other people have read the stuff, I do feel like I don't trust none of them. Not one to deliver facts clearly and concisely and with some type of understanding, at least a little bit. Not to say I'm an expert, because I'm certainly not, but you know, at least with a basic understanding as far as what we're dealing with this particular case. Since we've been following it from so long, from the beginning, really, it's kind of like easier to connect the dots, you know. Did I lose somebody? Oh, okay. Love Warriors gone. Hey, Hazel E, welcome back. Yeah. Hey, Miss Della.
Yes.
How you feeling? What's going on?
I'm feeling good. It's actually thunderstorming like crazy right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
We've been in a heat wave.
It was hot today, but it's thunderstorm. So I feel pretty good. Feel energized, feel good. Got my tea ready to roll.
Okay. All right. All right, let me make sure I have let me just see what was going on before I pull up the document. Whoever popped in, I'll be right there. All right, let's see. So this is doc 168. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to read the most recent filing from the government. Let me bring it up on the screen. Welcome back.
Hi, sorry. I don't know what happened.
Oh, boy. Maybe one of those nights.
No.
Is my thunderstorms getting over there to you?
Yes, Miss Della, they are. It had some bad weather today. Fred out there and, in the Gulf.
Thunderstorms, child. All right. Here we go. Let's see. So this was filed yesterday and addressed to Judge Donnelly. The government respectfully submits this letter response in opposition to the defendant's motion to dismiss filed on 8/9/2021. The defendant moves purportedly pursuant to Fed R Crime P12B2 to dismiss 1 racketeering acts through 3, 7, 10, 12, and 14 of count 1, 2 counts 6 through 9, and 3 the entire indictment for lack of venue. For the reasons set forth below, the motion is untimely and meritless. It should be denied in its entirety. All right. Well, that's how we're starting off, by saying we're wanting to wipe that whole motion out with one fell swoop. And this is their axe they're coming down with. What do y'all think about that so far? They just said it should be just denied in its entirety. Like, they're not even going to break anything down. We don't want to attack this and that. We're just going to tell you that this thing is all bullshit. I mean, they do have their reasons, obviously, and we're going to see what they are. Nobody has a thought. Go ahead.
I like how they sum it up in one cohesive sentence at the beginning to let them know, this is frivolous. In other words, this is frivolous. Yes, we'll address it, but it all should just be denied. I like that.
Okay.
I agree.
Right. So let's go. It says here, 1, the motion is untimely, first of all. I mean, do we need to even say anything else? This shit is hella late. Trial this about to start. But you know what? When it comes to fighting for, quote unquote, your life, and you're facing all the things that he's facing, I would be doing the same thing. This should have been done a long time ago. We know that. We've said this. Even a long time ago, I was saying, where's the motions to, like, where's the action at? There's none. Until here we are, 11th hour. So let's see. I had to just go there, but it says in a transparent effort to avoid a finding that his motion is untimely, the defendant asserts that his motion is made, and then it recites what is pursuant to as far as federal rules. His assertion does not make it so. So just because he says so, don't make it so. Rule 12B2 provides that a motion that the court lacks jurisdiction may be made anytime while the case is pending. Here, the defendant does not assert that the court lacks jurisdiction. Instead, he asserts that 1, certain racketeering acts and substantive counts should be dismissed because they failed to state a claim under New York law. 2, once the court dismisses those racketeering acts and counts, this results in a lack of venue in the Eastern District of New York. And 3, certain racketeering acts related to the creation of child pornography, how should you be saying that on here, should be dismissed because there is no evidence that visual depictions exist. And 4, certain racketeering acts should be dismissed because they are purportedly beyond the applicable statute of limitations. Notably, the federal rules make clear that the motions alleging, quote, a defect in instituting the prosecution, including improper venue, end quote, and, quote, a defect in the indictment or information, including failure to state an offense, end quote, must be, quote, raised by pretrial motion if the basis for the motion is then reasonably available and the motion can be determined without a trial on the merits. Yeah, should have been done a long time ago. The federal rules further provide that the court may set a deadline for the parties to make pretrial motions. If the court does not set one, the deadline is the start of trial. Quote, if a party does not meet the deadline for making a rule, the motion is untimely. but a court may consider the defense objection or request if the party shows good cause. Properly construed, there can be no doubt that the defendant's motion is, in fact, a Rule 12b-3 motion. Apart from his initial invocation of Rule 12b-2, without more, the motion is replete with references to the fact that the defendant is challenging the sufficiency of the indictment. So, yeah, I mean, this guy has been indicted for 2 years. Well, he's had 3 superseding, I believe, right? 3. I don't remember when the most recent one came down. I think it was last year, or maybe it was even last year, maybe in March. So you're getting indicted. You've been indicted. You have a team of lawyers, and you're waiting until literally trial starts on Wednesday. And they got these documents to dismiss this stuff. And I understand that, yeah, the lawyers have been switched out. There's new attorneys on board, and they're throwing up a Hail Mary at this point. But I mean, the government has to address it and point these things out. So that's what they're doing here. Let me come over to the other screen so I can see the chat. Y'all ain't talking. Y'all listening, huh? Okay, that's a good sign. All right. Where were we? Okay. Indeed, and talking about, the indictment being insufficient, it goes on to say, indeed, his argument with respect to racketeering acts 12 and 14 of count 1 and count 6 through 9 is that these racketeering acts and counts failed to state an offense because the underlying state law violations on which they rely either 1, do not include herpes, or 2, the indictment does not allege conduct amounting to reckless endangerment under state law, nor is his meritless statute of limitations argument jurisdictional. And they're citing case law here, which sets precedent for things following these cases that have set precedent. Finally, his claim that venue in the Eastern District of New York is improper falls squarely under Fed R. Crim P 12B3AI. So they're stating, look, we did this, we know what we're doing. Like, we didn't just do this and not know what the laws and rules are with regard to the filings and how we filed. So somebody's popping in. Let me come over. Beautiful.
Hello.
Happy Saturday. Welcome back.
I'm sorry. I think these thunderstorms messing with the network, so I apologize.
It's all good. I honestly didn't know you were out. Okay. So, any thoughts on so far what we got? Have you been able to decipher what's happening?
I concur. Oh, go ahead, beautiful spirit.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think even before he got other lawyers at the last minute, they still had enough time to try to get their stuff together. I don't think that the whole case is gonna be dismissed or the judge is gonna throw out whether they don't want him to face. And I just can't wait till the trial starts. I can't wait to see the headlines say guilty on all counts.
Wow. Everybody thinks all counts. What was that?
I said that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So you feel very strongly that all of this stuff is going to hold up for him. All the witnesses and the evidence.
If not all 100%, all the counts, it's gonna be majority, like 98%.
So if the judge, I'm going through this government response. I think that the defense gets to come back one more time. I mean, I would hope not, but if they do, what we're really waiting on is for the judge's order. We want to know what the judge is going to do. There's a lot of hypotheticals and theories as to, if this gets knocked out, then what about that? What's going to happen? Honestly, I don't even know. He don't even need. This is what, the whole piling on accusations. It's for a reason. Reasons like this. So when they come trying to knock stuff down, you still got so much more that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's correct. Because goddess and everybody, the bottom line is this Rico is a conspiracy. Am I echoing?
A little bit, but it's you can hear fine. I can hear you fine.
Okay, I don't want to echo. Is about showing the pattern and his direction of his managers, his enablers, doing his bidding to abuse and victimize the victims. So even if they throw away a couple of those uncharged acts, which I don't think they're going to throw away that many, because all of it points to this pattern. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. The Rico is about the pattern, the conspiracy of him setting this stuff up for 20 plus years or 30 years, however you want to look at it. So and I know Judge Ann is not going to dismiss the entire case. We can forget that.
I agree, because if that was the case, he would have been able to get some type of bond or something.
That's right, Miss Della. He would have got a bond a long time ago.
Well, some may argue that these new attorneys are bringing heat, and if he had them back then, he would be out, and all of these what ifs and this and that. So I'm just trying to.
The support.
Well, they gotta have something to say.
Yeah, they claim Greenberg was bringing heat. Doug Antoine was bringing heat. They claim all of them was bringing heat. Even Cokehead was bringing the heat. I bet she was, though. Ain't nobody brought no heat yet, but this Vegas heat.
This LA, it is hot. It was a little cooler today, actually. Robert Militant is back, y'all. In Jamaica. So he's asking whatever became of the Greenberg fellows. So you are totally out of the loop. You need to catch up. Go on back on some videos. Basically, Greenberg, did we ever figure out whether he was fired versus he withdrew voluntarily? He's no longer on the case. We'll just say that. He's been dismissed. Houston is in the building. Should we drop the link?
Yeah.
Houston, we're not gonna have no disrespect to the guests or Goddess Don at all, period. With nobody. Please be respectful. Please enjoy the live. That's it.
You can come in. I'm curious to see where all this passion for Robert Sylvester Kelly is coming from. Oh, they're actually contributing, saying they will pick him up in Minnesota. He ain't gonna get out to get picked up from nowhere, because he's still under another bond, and he has too much going on to be getting out at this point.
That's right.
Trial is less than a week away on Wednesday, and it's gonna be something. I see the timeline for this thing I've seen a month, anywhere from 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So I don't, foresee us waiting too much longer to get a verdict, or should I say conviction?
Yeah.
But anyway, let me finish. Let's read some of this thing. The government is speaking. Here, the court set a deadline for the parties to make pretrial motions. Following several adjournments of the trial date on February 9, 2021, the court set a July 19, 2021 deadline for such motions. With the government's consent, the defendant moved for a 1 week extension to the motions deadline, July 23rd, 2021, which the court granted. As a result, the defendant's motion, filed on the morning of jury selection, is untimely. The defendant has provided no good cause for his untimeliness, nor could he. The defendant's suggestion prior to the start of jury selection that he needed recently produced discovery to make his motion is baseless. And it's saying to see the transcript of the criminal cause for jury selection on August 9, 2021 as 6. His motion to dismiss the racketeering acts and counts related to herpes exposure, and in parentheses, and the correlative venue challenge are based on misguided arguments as to the reach and applicability of the underlying state laws at issue, not any substantive evidence produced in discovery. Indeed, that is why the defendant previously filed a motion to dismiss the very same racketeering acts and counts related to herpes exposure over a year and 4 months ago on March 2nd, 2020. Boom. The same is true with respect to the defendant's argument regarding the statute of limitations. As a result, the motion should be denied. So they're like this, we've been here before. Things have been denied in the past. And why are we here? So Farinella is the one I'm questioning because he's really the one who's been here from the start. We know that Becker has been here, Blank Becker, Tricky Nikki also, but she wasn't officially on the case. So we can't really put it on her officially. But it can go on for Farinella. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, for the government to have to remind them that you already put in a motion alleging about the herpes, and that's already been, denied. That's not a good look for the defense.
It's not, and they're gonna blame Greenberg and Leonard. That's what they're doing, and I think they're just trying to set up for an appeal because this thing. Okay. So let's go on. Number 2, the motion also fails on the merits. A, the charges related to herpes exposure should not be dismissed. Counts 6 through 9 and Racketeering Acts 12 and 14 of Count 1 each relate to violations of the Mann Act. More specifically, these racketeering acts and counts collectively allege that on or about May 18, 2017 and February 2nd, 2018, the defendant, 1, transported Jane Doe number 6 in interstate commerce with intent that Jane Doe number 6 engage in sexual activity for which a person can be charged with a criminal offense, specifically violations of New York Penal Law Section 120.20, reckless endangerment, and New York Public Health Law Section 2307, exposure of infectious venereal disease. And it tells what the violations are. And 2, persuaded, induced, enticed, or coerced Jane Doe number 6 to travel in interstate commerce to engage in sexual activity for which a person can be charged with a criminal offense, specifically violations of Section 120.20, reckless endangerment, and Section 2307, exposure of infectious venereal disease. The indictment further alleges that the defendant violated these New York state laws specifically by, quote, engaging in unprotected sexual intercourse with Jane Doe number 6 without first informing Jane Doe number 6 that he had contracted herpes and obtaining her consent to sexual intercourse in these circumstances. Okay, so it's the herpes things again, and they're going on again to go talk about public health and what public health law says. I don't want to read all that about the herpes. I don't. But anybody have anything to say about the herpes stuff? I'm going to read the footnote. Actually, there's a couple of footnotes, and I think I missed one too. But I can't see the screen again, so just chime on in on your,
It's amazing that he wants, or Kells is either instructing for Farinella or whatever on this herpes things, because to me, the medical records and the pharmaceutical records are the most easy to prove that he has had it, along with any victims that contracted it in the coming, because of would have received medical records, diagnosis, and had to have treatment or something. So it puzzles me why they find this old loophole to argue whether it's a viral or bacterial and an STD, but obviously it is. That's what I want to say.
It's unacceptable. Damn well you gave all those girls herpes. So you just want to throw it out because you just don't mean anything. Just no remorse, no nothing.
Yeah.
And
That needs to stay there.
he gave more than herpes to these young girls. In the 89 page, he gave two 13-year-olds herpes. He done gave out chlamydia. I mean, I hope that they even had it down in the 9,000 discovery, the first one, that when he caught a Uber to the pharmacy to pick up his hurt medicine at once upon a time. They even got that. And how he paid, which card he used to pay for the ride.
Mm-hmm. So I am actually going to read some of this because, it's pretty
Because
relevant.
Greenberg came out and said to the news reporters, his client never even been to a doctor, let alone a pharmacy, because he been in tip-top perfect health and shape because he's a superstar. And that was Greenberg words. And now he's eating them, even though he's not on the case no more. But he had his attorneys talking big stuff to the world about them lies too.
Well, they were lies.
He ain't never been to the doctor. Had no reason to go to the doctor because he's been in perfect health.
Well, he got to say that because he the lawyer, just like he said he didn't know who Aaliyah was. He didn't know Aaliyah he didn't know her age at the time.
Yeah, even denying about knowing her at all. At one point, he said they probably never even met Aaliyah, never worked with her. Then came you right. So I guess they have to do what they have to do. I don't know. I guess everybody's entitled to a lawyer, no matter what crime they did. But this here right here is a hard pill to swallow. I don't know how they standing strong defending this man. That he's saying because they still defending him even though they're not on the case. And whatever his name is. No, wait a minute. Which one is it now? They're left with Greenberg. He gets to come out. So, oh yeah, he's going to be able to see light of day again. He's going to get off. They're going to dismiss it, if not all of it. Yeah, he's going to be just fine.
That would be the delusional Mike Leonard.
Yeah, Mike Leonard. Okay, I stand corrected. Thank you very much.
Oh no, it's all good. I like what Hazel had to say here. She said the defense team is in way over their heads. They have no defense for Rob, which is no surprise because they didn't have a defense back in 2008. Paying the victim to not testify in 2008 is what got him off. And JC, welcome back, JC. She said they have the proof. She's like, they have the proof. They have it.
Yeah, Discovery you read almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, I have it right here. I can pull it up also, actually.
Yeah, the Discovery you read is to almost 3 years ago. When we went about the the pharmaceutical records, the doctor records. I mean, that was listed in the initial discovery.
Mm-hmm.
These people are crazy.
I saw in somebody's chat, one of those supporters, they were like, they don't have, how do they know he had herpes? They would have to have his medical records. I'm like, I think they do. They have prescription records and medical. They have some stuff. They got some stuff.
They sure do.
Hazel said, how would Greenberg know Rob had perfect health if Rob never went to the doctor? He just taking it upon Rob's word. Rob, how's your health? Perfect. How that went. Ooh, JC says she been eating crab gumbo. Sounds delish. What up, Queen? So is there more than one tape now? Okay, so the tapes are the Illinois case, right? That's the case that is that the other co-defendants are attached to, right? Am I right? Hello?
Right.
I don't have the stuff in front of me, but I know that the actual tapes are in evidence. They said in one of the indictments, or was it the testimony for the grand jury? They were basically, or maybe it was for one of the initial bond requests, and that they had to basically say, look, we got this man on tape. His face is all in the camera. It's him with underage girls. So I thought they were all working together, but I think they're being careful because remember, they can't use that pornography in this case, right? Because that's the whole thing they're trying to stay away from. I don't want to even say the DJ word or words, but I'm just saying it's not that there aren't any tapes. I think, and I need to pull up the discovery because maybe the tapes haven't, I think they're saying here that they didn't submit them for certain people. So let's finish reading it and then get to that. I don't want to get ahead of what they're actually saying. The government is speaking. All right. So they're talking about the herpes. It says New York Public Health Law Section 2307 provides that, quote, any person who knowing himself or herself to be infected with an infectious venereal disease has sexual intercourse with another shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. I heard people, or I saw people in someone else's chat saying, oh, a misdemeanor, and they're even bothering. Like, what? It's not even a big deal. Like, the mentality of some of these people is unfathomable. I can't even wrap my mind around their mind. Actually, I probably could a couple times, actually, but just saying. All right. Yeah, I can be like that sometimes. I know y'all know. Okay, so it says the defendant argues that it is undisputed that Section 2307 does not include herpes. He is wrong. So they're basically trying to say, the defense is trying to say herpes is not a infectious venereal disease. They said it's categorized as a virus or something to that effect. So it's not. It's all semantics. They're trying to find loopholes, but the government is speaking and they're saying he's wrong. They said herpes is clearly an infectious venereal disease, and as a result, Section 2307 encompasses herpes, as New York State courts have repeatedly found. So there's case law to prove their argument. Boom. And they've stated that here. And it goes on to say, I'm not going to read the case law. I just, okay, well, maybe I will. This one, Maraham versus, oh, wait, let me pronounce this right. Maharam versus Maharam. All right. Sounds like a couple. 510 New York, S2D 104, 107. First Department, 1986. Way back in 86. People have been getting herpes for a long time. Section 2307 provides basis for valid civil claim where husband failed to disclose to his wife that he had herpes before sexual intercourse. And then you have Fan versus Sabin, 2015. In civil case where plaintiff alleged that defendant, who was plaintiff's ex-boyfriend, had unprotected sexual intercourse with plaintiff knowing he had herpes and without first informing her of same. So this section 2307 imposes a duty to disclose. This comports with the plain meaning of the statute. And it continues, when interpreting a statutory provision, this is another, it says I can't even pronounce that, child. Somebody versus Holder. When interpreting a statutory provision, we begin with the language of the statute. If the statutory terms are unambiguous, we construe the statute according to the plain meaning of its words. And so it says the dictionary definition of venereal disease is a contagious disease, which as gonorrhea or syphilis, that is typically acquired in sexual intercourse. See Merriam-Webster. They got to point these out to the dictionary. Read your dictionary, you bums. You legal bums. I'm sorry, y'all. This is how I talk to myself when I'm reading these things at the house by myself. I'm yelling at the paper, just like I be yelling at the TV on some shit too, and the movies. Oh, Love Warrior. Hey.
Lightning strikes.
Lightning strikes?
Yeah, but I'm good.
Oh, lightning over there. Literal lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go outside now on that balcony or not, whatever, don't go outside. Okay. You want to put your layers out there. Okay. Yeah, just like JC saying here, they have multiple tapes. I'm hearing wrong reports, only one tape still. Yeah, they're hanging on to the one tape. I had to tell somebody in somebody else's comments who wanted to insist they only have one tape. And even if they did only have one tape, why are you arguing about the one tape? You shouldn't even be saying nothing. That tape is enough. The one tape is enough. I know when initially the initial indictment, I think the Illinois first was released, it stated there were 3 tapes in hand and a 4th that they were trying to acquire, they knew existed, or they were working on getting, something like that. At this point, I think they have the 4th tape, because I remember seeing something else that said plain and clearly that they have 4. So, lip gloss and hearts. Welcome.
That is correct. They do have 4 because they brought it back up, which was an article that I had retweeted on Twitter. I can't remember if I tagged you in it or not, but that was just from a week ago. As well as they had more than actually 4 tapes when they said the 2 attorneys in 2018 pulled out on them, plus 2 a publicist and a former coworker forked over several, iPads and stuff to the government and have been cooperating with the government since then.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
what?
Yeah, Hugo said they have. I'm sorry, JC said they have at least 5. She said before they found the storage, they had at least 5 tapes across the cases.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Hazel, so the tapes are only for the Illinois case, so they can't use them for this trial. Well, I don't know. I was just saying that
with this trial, they do have some current up to date. They backs up with some of the victims. They do have tapes.
They have evidence, but the tapes themselves is what the defense has said in their motion to dismiss that don't exist. Saying they don't exist is a big statement that has to be debunked, which is what they're doing with this response. So again, I don't think we ain't got to that yet. Let me look. Actually, I'm going to look real quick.
Are you finished with the STD?
No.
Okay, finish that.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry to me to say it like that.
Shit.
I was going to say again, I wanted to say again, I don't know that, I think the charge is saying that he directed and had himself filmed or filmed himself with an underage victim. It's more of, again, of that conspiracy thing. So if the victim says he filmed me in this particular Rico case, that's what it is. Now, I know they have tape, and I don't know exactly all with evidence, but again, it's him directing that is what, that's what
Rico, exactly. Rico is him being the boss of all of this bullshit and making the calls and having the people in place to carry out the conspiracy and all the Mann Act, the trafficking, all of that, the bribery stuff. Well, the bribery also is the Illinois, which is what the David and Milton. I think he's involved in that. Right. But I don't know. I know specifically McDavid though definitely has those charges on him.
Right.
Bribery and stuff, meaning about the tapes, to be clear.
So it's basically just backup proof to back up what they're saying.
Exactly. It's like, okay, so he got the initial state indictment, right? Which we read here, and now I'm like, my mind is fuzzy, but I know that the state was the minor abuse stuff. And was that stuff also on the tapes? I don't remember. But I know that following that was the federal Illinois, and that was the tapes.
Yes.
So the tapes exist. And there's more than one. There's more than a couple.
Yeah, so right.
So, all right, let me go back here. Okay. So then HIV is going to be brought up here because if you recall in the defense's motion to dismiss, they said that they're going to open the door to future cases involving HIV if they allow these charges to rock. So they have to debunk what they're saying. So they are bringing up HIV. I saw in somebody's chat, they're like, what are they bringing up HIV for? This has nothing to do with HIV. And I'm like, the defense brought it up. It's in the motion to dismiss. They're basically just coming back at them with their own wording, with their own information. So that's what I don't understand about people. I guess they don't absorb information. I'm not sure.
They absorb it.
They're not reading the paperwork, but they are absorbing it, and that just lets you know that they ain't really too much of a super fan. If you're a super fan, you knew what the hell his attorney's been saying.
Is they're in denial. You can't. They don't want to think the worst. He could not have possibly done this.
Yeah. They're
Well,
denying.
I heard this YouTuber saying it's the girl's responsibility. Why didn't they use protection? Didn't they see the bumps? They should. That's on them. I was like,
And then not only that, a lot of them have his same thinking process. They ain't in denial. They actually just want him to be able to strike again, and hopefully, it could be with one of their own.
exactly.
A lot of them have the same sickening thoughts as him, like his group of people that aided and abetted him and participated in that mess. They all was thinking alike and had the same tendencies, and that's why they. But a lot of them, you have some that just because he made this song, he just couldn't. I just can't just the thought of it. I just can't see this man just doing this stuff because he made that song, y'all. That one song. They all got their favorite song, and that's the reason why he just couldn't have done nothing in it like this at all. It's just unbelievable. He just couldn't be capable because he made that song.
He made them songs, but yeah, he made. So which song are you talking about now?
I noticed a few of them make their
okay, never mind. You ain't gotta promote the
their favorite song. That's
you ain't
the
gotta
reason
promote
why.
it. You ain't gotta promote. It's okay. I don't know why I want to know.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say a specific particular one, but they all got their little picks, And I'm like, screw the song. We talking about real life.
Yeah, them songs got the information too. They need to just hold a concert for the jury.
That's like a pastor or a priest get caught messing with the kids and adults in the congregation, and he could give you the best sermon on Sunday and Saturday ever. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean anything because he could pray his rear end off. The fact is that they did something.
They're preaching the best sermon, and in the meantime, his dick is burning.
Right, exactly. I love what got this down on top of my head. Sermon and burning.
There it is. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, R. Kelly must be in such agony right now. Can you imagine all the issues he's dealing with, including the herpes? And who else knows? You know that man ain't stopped having no sex in all this time now. He just, you know how he likes it. Geronda told us. A couple people did.
Lord.
Yeah, that's why he was going to sleep. He was trying to get back to it. The last boy.
They kept him up all night. They were like, well, let's do a party for the hearing. Maybe he had a going away party when he left Illinois and he's still recovering.
It made me think of that film somebody put on Twitter. I think it was R. Kelly prison or locked up or something to keep him down. And they showed him on his hand and knees twerking like, and they said,
"Oh my God! Oh, you gotta see that."
Twerking, he got to sing for his soup and twerk for a phone call. Child. He's like, booty. I don't even know how to sing with the song. The booty song. Okay, let's see.
The keys. They got the keys to his ignition.
Ugh. I wish he would have just drove far away and just never came back. Just like off the earth.
But you're right about that, Goddess. All they need to do is play his lyrics and then
don't play the music. Just put the lyrics up and then just have somebody, go through them line by line and have each person he was talking about stand up there. They all there, except for Aaliyah and the other deceased girl. God bless her soul.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, so we did how the music industry has enabled R. Kelly parts 1 and 2. I think that was Thursday. And so I'm going to do a part 3 because I have now collected all these executives and handlers and enablers from the music industry side of things. And they each have stories behind them independently with regards to R. Kelly. And boy, does this stuff it amazes me that it's still stuff that blows your mind, even this far into the game with regard to this guy and his stuff. Like,
shout out to Goddess Dawn.
I mean, not me. I don't want credit for this.
I'm talking about you investigating it and getting the rest of it.
I'm just messing with you. Thank you for that acknowledgement. Yeah, I know you be on me about it. Like, you be doing all these videos. It's true. I mean, but it's okay because that's why we here. Actually, we've come a long way, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm full circle because kind of when we started the lives, when we had, the earlier lives with Nia Mocha and all that stuff. I feel in that same kind of what is the word I want? Comfortability. Like, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good about where we're at. The people,
Yeah,
the vibe.
all that. Yeah,
Panel on Saturday night, my girls. This is girls' night every Saturday night.
love it.
You too, Wow Wayne and Marcus and Thomas and Robert. Anybody else in the bushes who has a penis. Thank you for being here. All right. Let's go on. So they say here, okay, reckless endangerment. Okay. So yeah, you can't just be infecting people and not disclose that information. It's already noted here in the law. The defendant argues that it is undisputed that Section 2307 does not include herpes. Oh, I already read that part. And they said he's wrong. And we read why they said he's wrong. It is an infection, a virus, sexually transmitted disease. This comports with the main meaning of the statute. Oh, that's where we're at. When interpreting, and I read all that. I read all of that. I'm ahead of myself or I'm behind. Okay. Blame the wine. Okay, so I apologize. I didn't have time to read this before I came on here. I wish I did because I would have been able to rattle this little thing off much better. But thanks for hanging in there with me. I'm just eyeing this. All right. Finally, Plaza versus State of Worcester is in opposite. There, the court found that Section 2307 excludes HIV infection, not because HIV is not an acute bacterial venereal disease, but because New York's public health law has entirely separate statutory schemes for HIV-related testing and for the examination of persons suspected of being infected with other venereal diseases. The court found it significant that while there are mandatory testing requirements related to those suspected of being infected with venereal disease, the New York State Legislature has specifically excluded persons suspected of being infected with the HIV virus from being compelled to undergo such testing. All right, they're citing more case law, and it says it appears, therefore, that the Plaza Court relied on the fact that following the enactment of Section 2307, the New York State Legislature had later enacted an entirely separate statutory scheme specifically related to HIV to exclude HIV from Sections 2307's ambit. No such entirely separate public health statutory scheme exists for genital herpes. As a result, the defendant reliance on Plaza is to no avail. All right. So they're like, look, because if you remember in the defense's motion, they basically were trying to say, they brought HIV into it and they had all these reasons of why you can't, because HIV's laws say this, and it's just like HIV. They tried it, but the
Quoting the
government,
wrong damn law.
yeah, they're just throwing anything out there, and here the government is again having to correct them and set them straight. No, this is what it is. Let's review.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a footnote here I'm going to read. It says, while irrelevant to the legal analysis, genital herpes is not a relatively new phenomenon, as the defendant appears to suggest, arguing that the concept of genital herpes was created in 1967, 21 years after the last modification to Section 2307. Notably, the virus responsible for genital herpes likely jumped from proto-chimps to a now extinct hominid, either Homo habilis or Homo erectus. Oh, Lord, about 1.6 million years ago. So they're citing an article from the the Washington Post. I don't remember I probably didn't read the defensive line by line to see that they were trying to say it was a relatively new phenomenon, but I mean, basically the government is just covering their bases and covering everything that the government threw out there. Number two, the conduct alleged in the indictment violates section 120.20. All right. It says that section 120.20 provides that a person is guilty of reckless endangerment in the second degree when he recklessly engages in a conduct which creates a substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person. Okay. Under New York law, a person acts recklessly with respect to result of circumstance when he or she is aware of and consciously disregards a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the particular result will occur or that the circumstance exists. Okay, there's a footnote for this. The risk must be of such nature and degree that disregard thereof constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of conduct that a reasonable person would observe in the situation. A person who creates such a risk but is unaware thereof solely by reason of voluntary intoxication also acts recklessly with respect thereto. Okay, so they're talking about the reckless behavior and the injury caused because of it. And I believe the herpes is considered an injury if it's, something they're suffering. What is it called? The breakouts, or what is it called? The whatever happens.
Oh, the exposure. I mean, when they have an
outbreaks, symptoms, whatever the symptoms that happen.
Yeah.
The injury due to, and it's psychological too, mind you, because it's no cure.
Yes, it is. When you finish, I'll break that down of how it could be. It just all came back to me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, hang on to it.
Yes,
we almost there.
All right, take your time.
Okay. All right. This goes on to cites more case law. As the New York Court of Appeals has made clear, the reckless endangerment statutes seek to prevent the risk created by the actor's conduct, not a particular outcome, and the risk of injury alone will sustain prosecution. All right. So, in quote, serious physical injury means physical injury which creates a substantial risk of death or which causes death or serious and protracted disfigurement, protracted impairment of health, or protracted loss of impairment, the function of any bodily organ. That's a strong case law right there. That reckless endangerment, it can cause a lot of harm. So if you breathe this a certain way, you might assume that somebody died or lost a limb or has some type of disfigurement, which can the herpes outbreaks, I guess, cause disfigurement? Don't they have stuff on their face and stuff sometimes?
Yes, the outbreak, when I worked in the OBGYN clinic, we had a patient, like I told you guys, and I hope everybody is sitting down. It might make your stomach nauseous.
Oh, Lord.
The boyfriend didn't let her know that he had it. He did. See, the outbreak don't always have to be in your genital areas. It could be on your back, your shoulders, your face, anywhere, your inner thigh, your anus. Well, she had it from not her nose, inside and out her nose, all over her lips, inside her mouth, in her throat, down to even on her breast and her genital and anal area, because he ejaculated and they did the golden shower too. So that's how, and it was very, some of them leave scarring depending on how bad the outbreak is. And also stress can make a person have an outbreak, stress on the body. Women that have their monthly cycles, I did have a childhood best friend in Detroit that mom knew the father had it and they decided to have a protective sex, and then she was born with it. Both of her children were born with it.
Oh yeah, JC said herpes makes you a high risk for pregnancy and birth defects of the baby, for instance, blindness. Yeah, I have read that somewhere too.
And so then
chickenpox and shingles or herpes virus.
Yeah, so yeah, it does.
He said a herpes virus, but not a venereal disease.
I think that both the government and the defense put a motion in to bring in a doctor for each side about the herpes, if I can remember correctly.
Each side has a doctor, has
Yeah,
experts.
right.
Yes. The defense had one doctor, I think, but the government had a couple of different experts,
Yeah.
like 3, I think. So Queen says, even if that charge is thrown out, that's the least of his worries that Rico and bribe an official to marry Aaliyah underage is going to get him the most time. Yeah, that's a lot right there, and that's not all of it. JC said that charge won't get thrown out. Yeah. Okay. This goes on to say each of the challenge charges alleges that the defendant violated both New York Penal Law Section 12020 and New York Public Health Law Section 2307 in that he engaged in unprotected sexual intercourse with Jane Doe number 6 without first informing Jane Doe number 6 that he had contracted herpes and obtaining her consent to sexual intercourse in these circumstances. Such conduct clearly meets the elements of reckless endangerment in the second degree. Indeed, the New York Court of Appeals affirmed this very conclusion in similar circumstances and more case law. I feel like I read this already. It's just so redundant, some of this. All right. In People versus Williams, the defendant engaged in unprotected sex with the victim, knowing he was HIV positive and without informing the victim of his HIV positive status. The district attorney sought and a New York grand jury returned an indictment charging the defendant in Williams with inter alia reckless endangerment in the first degree in violation of New York Penal Law Section 120.25, which criminalizes recklessly engaging in conduct which creates a grave risk of death to another person under circumstances evincing a depraved indifference to human life. The trial court held that the conduct at issue did not constitute first-degree reckless endangerment and reduced the count of first-degree reckless endangerment to second-degree reckless endangerment in violation of New York Penal Law Section 120.20. The appellate court and the New York Court of Appeals affirmed the trial court's decision. So in so holding, the New York Court of Appeals found that the conduct did not meet the legal standard for depraved indifference because there was no evidence that the defendant exposed the victim to the risk of HIV infection without any malevolent desire for the victim to contract the virus, or that he was utterly indifferent to the victim's fate. New York Court of Appeals, however, affirmed that the decision of lower court to reduce the charge to reckless endangerment in the second degree in these circumstances. So the Court of Appeals has held this up. And so being that they reduced it from first degree to second, this is what the government is going with, right? The conduct alleged in the indictment is a violation of Section 120.20, thus clearly constitutes reckless endangerment in the second degree and falls squarely within the New York Court of Appeals holding in Williams. The defendant arguments to the contrary are meritless, and the court should deny the defendant's motion. And there is a footnote, number 4. Nor can it be argued that exposure to herpes from sexual intercourse does not create a substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person. New York Penal Law 120.20, as the government will establish through expert testimony at trial, exposure to genital herpes clearly represents a substantial risk of protracted impairment of health. New York Penal Law 10.10, once contracted, herpes is incurable. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the first outbreak of herpes is often associated with a longer duration of herpetic lesions, increased viral shedding, says making herpes simplex virus HSV transmission more likely, and systemic symptoms including fever, body aches, swollen lymph nodes, or headache. Recurrent outbreaks of genital herpes are common, and many patients who recognize recurrences have prodromal symptoms, either localized genital pain or tingling or shooting pains in the legs, hips, or buttocks, which occur hours to days before the eruption of herpetic lesions. And then they have information for the CDC here, website. Herpetic lesions typically appear as one or more vesicles or small blisters on or around the genitals, rectum, or mouth. The average incubation period for an initial herpes infection is 4 days, range 2 to 12 after exposure. The vesicles break and leave painful ulcers that may take 2 to 4 weeks to heal after the initial herpes infection. I'm like shaking my head. And can you imagine a lot of these girls were virgins too when they messed with him on top of everything else.
All those victims. And now, if they ever do choose to have a child, they have to be treated high risk pregnancies. It's just disgusting. Disgusting.
Hazel said, wow, I didn't know herpes could cause birth defects. Queen said, it's a lot. There's no way he's walking out that jail like them supporters believe. LOL. I don't know if they really believe this, that he's just going to walk out, but they do love shouting he going to be free. He coming out. He coming out. One of them, the YouTuber, likes to tell about these dreams that she has, that he done knocked on everybody's door one by one and thanked all his supporters. Hey.
Sorry about that. I had a phone call.
Oh, no worries. I didn't know. I didn't even notice. I'm sorry. But yeah,
he's not gonna thank nobody.
He gonna knock on every person's door. Has he sent one letter of true thank you, of memo through the media or anything to his fans or his lawyers?
Nope.
No.
Nope. You never. Nope. You never done none. Remember the last time he got out of jail? What did he do?
Go to McDonald's.
Went straight to McDonald's and then went to a cigar bar.
Herpes is a serious STD, and any STD is to be taken seriously, because especially with women, we have our reproductive system. It does a lot of scarring, and it can make you permanently sterile, especially if you every time you get exposed to it, it's worse and worse and worse. It can affect you. You might need a surgical procedure, and you can't get it done because the stress to the body. It will cause a bad outbreak. We have had patients recovery time that after having a hysterectomy because they had a bad outbreak. And then sometimes with the one patient that we had one time in the clinic, her outbreak was so bad that it was so dominant that they didn't even know about the other 2 STDs, because she had went a long time without, keeping up with her annual exams and having sex with multiple people. So it can be very serious, and that's why I say, my personal opinion, I don't think that he cared, because he despised human beings. It doesn't matter if you're a young girl, a young boy, or a grown adult. He does not like humans at all, period, because the way he treated humans, the way he don't have no respect for himself, he definitely didn't have no respect to me and no remorse for the others. In that 89 page, 2 13-year-old young girls had retrieved that STD from him. He took one from California, brought her to New York, and that's been broken down. And he also picked up one in New York. So you see, he has victims that were underages in New York, in Brooklyn, Manhattan. They said Staten Island, Rhode Island, all around. And other kids that he brought to New York from other states, even one from Atlanta, he brought to New York. So his case is deeper than what we know. And this is just with this racketeering charges, how it was broken down. One victim, I think that he had 9. They broke down the act. I said, Jesus.
Well, yeah, it's important to just remember it is a serious, because I heard another channel or some people talking about how everybody got herpes. 70% of the population got herpes. Downplaying.
Oh, no, we don't.
Okay, I was like, but
right, everybody don't.
That's not them downplaying, but it's important to note it is something serious. It causes injury, especially to unsuspecting folks, to children, as JC has reminded.
Yes.
It's affecting children, not women.
And it can cause birth defects, and then, like you said, it can be mental and emotionally. You don't know a person mind state. That's devastating. I've known couples in the clinic where the wife came back with an ankle bracelet on house arrest because she had almost killed her, tried to tear her man head off because her psyche was like, she said, I feel embarrassed. I'm a certain age. I've been with him this amount of years, never stepped out of the relationship. And here it is. I've been coming here for my annual exam. You build a relationship with your physician. And she's like, I'm 40 some years old, my first time ever catching a STD. And she just couldn't, she had to get in counseling. And he running around here acting like it's just okay.
Well,
Man
that
ain't said
you know what
nothing.
though, that goes along with how he is in general. What we know, he wants you to have something wrong with you in order to get into his circle. Like you gotta have a crime on you. You gotta admit a crime on paper. You gotta, to forget about the NDAs. You got to incriminate yourself. So I think that goes along with the herpes. Like I'm gonna make you dirty just like me, and then you can then you could be around me. You can't. I think he feels like maybe even people think they better than him or something. And he want to make sure that they can't.
Yeah.
And she told one victim he had, when she said, you didn't tell me you had herpes, he said, just with it. Like you said,
just deal with it.
Just with it. Like
we got a lot of those things. Trust the process. Just deal with it.
That narcissistic talk. And then like we said, and like Ms. Della said, he hadn't even sent the message out. He made sure he sent the message to make sure his attorney said, yeah, I want y'all could rally up and down the street in front of the MCC. Y'all got permission because you're in front of my office, and y'all can do this and y'all can do that. He can put hits out on people. He can send his people through state line to blow up cars, but he can't send a public thank you to his fans. He don't even care about his fans. In his mind, he's like, y'all so stupid. Y'all so dumb. Y'all think I'm going to thank y'all for this? That's on y'all stupid ass. I'm good. I'm chilling. I got my homie right here. I got my boy right there. I got my bestie over here. Yeah, you that one. You got that vibe. Hey, that's on y'all. That's on y'all. I ain't thinking nobody for nothing. And that's because he could have had an attorney. His attorney could have said, talk to Rob today. He's want to tell all his fans and supporters, thank you. He knows about it. He's been getting back. He appreciate all the help, all the thoughts and prayer and the letters. He ain't even said thank you for a letter.
Willie Bailey said his man Kels is walking the F out of there, honey. He said he walking the F out of there.
It made me think of one YouTuber guy that was reading. Well, I can't read, child. Was stumbling through one and arguing about everything the government said. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie, y'all. How in hell?
Well, yeah, of course they say that's
educated self. Talk about the United States attorneys in the Eastern District are lying. Like, I just don't believe them. They just blind.
Yeah, I mean, and typically I'm never one to trust no authorities. Like that's just, but in this case, hell yeah, I'm on their side. I believe everything they saying because for this case, they are the true heroes of this case, honestly, to actually follow through, put in the time and hours to make sure that these motions are legit and right and thorough. And they have been on it, not missing a beat with superseding indictments, putting out the subpoenas. I'm sure all them people got subpoenaed over these past, course, however long, few weeks or whatever. The evidence they've collected and gone through. I mean, there's a lot of work. And not to say they're not getting paid, it's a job, but to be good at your job and do it right and make sure, I'm applauding the government in this case. Now,
that's right. This is the top of the line of the government. When
and we're speculating. You see what I'm saying? We only going by what we've heard and what we seen on TV. We don't know really all the stuff that they had, all the evidence that they had. Like I said, it's all gonna come out next week.
It sure is next week. Oh,
I might have to call in work.
Just to hear that. We should have. Why did we go to New York? I don't understand why we didn't do a trip to New York. Shoot. Not that I'm trying to announce that. Even if I would, I might be in New York. Y'all just don't know. Don't look for me. Don't get cut now. Okay. Let me see in the comments because he's. Let's see. JC said it used to be herpes 1 was on the mouth. Oh Lord, okay, I don't know. But yeah, she's breaking it all down. There you go. Aisha, you know M stands for mom. Gail King. What? Did I miss something? Or are we saying Gail King is mom? Okay. JC, they may try to play it down as there is a war on reproductive rights right now. Yep. And what he did to these children could affect their option of having children. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. They worked hard and are still investigating. Oh yeah, this thing
That's
ain't
right.
over. They still
They
uncovering
invested
stuff right
too
now.
much. Like you said, Goddess, they have invested too much. And like I just said, this is the top of the food chain. This is not the city government and the state government.
Oh
This is
yeah,
the federal
Homeland Security,
government.
baby.
And
Now,
if you think they're going to invest all the investigators, the attorneys, and all the everybody they have had to put in this, the hell they do, I couldn't believe a YouTuber would sit up here saying, "Lie, guys!" Like, what in the hell are you talking about? And then the people in their chat are like, "Yeah, that's wrong."
because that's what they
No,
want to hear. That's all that is.
Because
She panders to them because obviously that's how she gets the numbers, the clicks, the views, the super chats, the donations, or whatever else the goal is for that week. So
yeah,
you gotta tell them what they
sad.
want to hear.
not only that, they still going to be invested. Even once this trial is over, of course, he got other trials, but they're going to be investigating on the rest of the handlers to bring in because they still not going to be done anything that's attached to him. That I believe. I believe there's going to be more arrests made, and I'm pretty sure they're going to find more dirt on all these other enablers and handlers that he has because it's deeper than him. And we just might find out other artists might get apprehended that was around that didn't mind hanging out in the studio with the piss all on the floor.
Well, they're already throwing Rico for some of these young rappers. And so what they government is basically saying, y'all with your celebrity money, okay, but y'all better not be breaking no laws. Just got a Rico case on what's his name? He's part of the ASAP Ferg has a Rico case.
Yeah.
IB has a Rico case. Young boy. I mean, they have Rico case. I think about 3 or 4 young rappers right now. So they warning them. Celebrity brings that which brings power. Just don't break the law. Don't use young girls. Don't cross that line. Don't be in the drug game. None of that. If you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Don't misuse your power. All these young rappers they got under Ricos right now using this Rico. The government is using it to develop cases on them. So once you cross this line with breaking the law and you got evidence that they better be careful. That's all I can say.
Yep, they are using that RICO for whatever they can use it for. It might not have been initially designed for what they're doing, but if it works, it works. I mean, if you don't break the law, don't break the fucking law. Don't give them evidence. Like, what do you want to say now?
Didn't you say?
You sound like my grandma.
Didn't you say that
What do you want to say?
the text messages they did the judge or whoever allow the text messages to be dismissed?
I believe they were just, she did not allow them to be included. I think she felt like it was a redundant or something.
Okay, especially the one that says what? Oh my God, she should just run and never come back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they have the witnesses. I mean, I feel like they don't need that stuff.
No, Miss Della, she did allow the audio of him doing the threatening, like if this what's gonna happen to y'all, all that audio that Goddess had read, they did allow that. Judge Ann did allow that. His audio.
Okay. So let's move on to the statute of limitations. I don't know why they're doing fireworks tonight.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that the thunderstorm, Miss Della? But that's fireworks. What is wrong with these people with these fireworks?
Okay. All right, count one is not barred by the statute of limitations. The defendant's motion to dismiss based on the statute of limitations is frivolous and demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of Rico. Bam. They're like, look, these fools don't even know what Rico is. They don't even have a fundamental understanding, a basic understanding. All right. It's telling them to go see a certain statute. All right. The statute of limitations for a substantive RICO offense, the offense charged in count one, is 5 years from the date of the indictment. No person shall be prosecuted, tried, or punished for any offense not capital unless the indictment is found within 5 years next after such offense shall have been committed. That certain racketeering acts are predicated on violations of state law does not mean that the state statutes of limitations apply, as the defendant bizarrely asserts. Nor is the applicable federal 5-year statute of limitations measured from the date of the first racketeering act. This is so because the defendant is not charged with committing a particular predicate act, but rather with committing racketeering through pattern of racketeering acts. So there's the behavior thing. That's, again, the focus. It's the behavior, not a particular thing, but a bunch of things over a period of time. That's what this is. All right. Under the law, in a substantive RICO charge under the section 1962C, the defendant must have committed at least one predicate act within 5 years of the date of the indictment. So we're talking the date of the indictment, not the date of the act. There's a footnote here. Let's read that. Here, the initial indictment was returned. It's down here. On June 20th, 2019, and therefore the statute of limitations stopped running on that date. United States versus Roboloto. Superseding indictment made only minor technical changes to the indictment and therefore statute told by original indictment, even though the superseding indictment added a murder predicate act against the defendant. And I'm talking about the statute that was listed, not R. Kelly. Even assuming arguendo that the statute of limitations was only told at the time the grand jury issued the third superseding indictment, which is not the case. There would still be no statute of limitations issue here. The grand jury issued the third superseding indictment on March 12, 2020. Racketeering Acts 8 through 14 all occurred after March 12, 2015. So the timing of the superseding indictments was not just random. They planned that based on the timing of the acts that they're charging. So
Exactly.
government ain't no fools. So it goes on to say the government is entitled to marshal and wait a minute. Did I read the? Hold on. Okay, let me go back up. Okay. United States versus Persico. They're citing this. To establish a defendant's violation of section 1962C, the government must prove that the defendant committed 2 or more predicate offenses, at least one of which occurred within the federal 5-year statute of limitations for non-capital offenses. Says citation is omitted here, but the indictment was filed on June 20th, 2019. At least one of the predicate racketeering acts charged against the defendant in the substantive RICO count must have occurred or continued past June 20th, 2014. In this case, racketeering acts 8 through 14 all occurred after that date, and there is thus no statute of limitations issue in this case. You know, I feel like they're just having them do just extra work, just having to go back and basically lay out. It's like they don't know what's going on, is what this is saying to me. This is what, and maybe that's their plan, to make it look like they don't know what the hell is going on. How can we know what was going on? We're new here. We just started. This thing has been going on for 2 years. But at the same time, when they came in, they did tell the judge they had an understanding of that they were late in the game and that there's a lot of challenges. So there's really no excuse for this.
I agree. I agree totally.
All right, so let's go on to the racketeering. Letter C, racketeering acts 2, 7, and 10 should not be dismissed. The defendant argues that racketeering acts 2, 7, and 10 of count 1, all of which relate to the production of child pornography, should be dismissed because there is no evidence that visual depictions exist. This is not a proper basis for a motion to dismiss at the motion, and the motion should be denied. So here we go. This is about the tapes, I guess. In quotes, an indictment returned by a legally constituted and unbiased grand jury, if valid on its face, is enough to call for trial and of the charge on the merits. And it's citing case law. It says in quotes, unless the government has made what can fairly be described as a full proffer in the evidence it intends to present at trial, the sufficiency of the evidence is not appropriately addressed on a pretrial motion to dismiss an indictment. Oh, okay. So then they cite another case, and it says a defendant must wait until after the close of the government's case in chief at trial or after the jury's verdict before contesting the sufficiency of the evidence. It is well established that an indictment that is valid on its face may not be dismissed on the ground that it is based on inadequate or insufficient evidence. A defendant's factual arguments challenging facially valid pleadings do not justify pretrial dismissal of the indictment. The government is entitled to marshal and present its evidence at trial and, if warranted, have its sufficiency tested by a motion for a government of acquittal pursuant to Rule 29 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. So they're not saying they don't have the tapes. I heard somebody say, oh, they said they don't have the tapes here. But there is a footnote. Let me read that before I say what I wanted to say about what they just said. Footnote. I already read this footnote. There's another one now. All right. Did I get to that footnote yet? Okay, well, I'll just continue reading. So this is pretty much the last page. So it states another case from 1997, and in quotes it says, as the government aptly states in its opposition, while defendants' arguments may properly be considered on a motion under Rule 29, the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, after government presents its proof, they do not support dismissal of the indictment at this stage of the proceedings. A motion to dismiss a properly pleaded indictment confuses standards of pleading with standards of proof. They cite another case. It says the defendants, in quotes, the defendants, however, had no basis to challenge the sufficiency of the indictment before trial because it met the basic pleading requirements and was valid on its face. And they cite another case. This is John Gotti, U.S. versus Gotti, January 6, 2004. Defendants, or maybe it's not that Gotti because that's 2004. Defendants will have other opportunities to contest the sufficiency of the government's evidence, but a pretrial motion to dismiss part of the indictment is not the time nor the proper occasion. And there's another case here cited also from 2003. It says here the government has not presented a full proffer of its evidence. Did y'all hear that? The government has not presented a full proffer of its evidence. Trial is scheduled to commence on August 18, 2021. According to the defendant's motion to dismiss, these racketeering acts should be denied. And the footnote for this says, in addition, the defendant appears to be under the mistaken impression that witness testimony regarding certain facts, including the creation of visual depictions, is not evidence. He is wrong. So they're basically like, oh, you don't have the tapes. We don't have the tapes, so it's not a thing. Well, not only do they have the tapes, they have the witnesses to go with the tapes. So they basically are trying to let them know, we have more time to give you some evidence. We ain't give you everything. We don't want you messing this up. So we're going to wait. And they're going to wait until they can't have, until the last minute, till trial starts. till trial actually begins, or they said till it closes. There's a thing they use. I forgot the term. Something having to do with them closing their case. That's it's still an open investigation, basically, at this point.
Every day up until the last second, baby.
Baby. All right, letter D. Venue in the Eastern District of New York is proper. Now, the defense did try to say, y'all don't even have the right venue. None of this stuff ain't even in New York. Like, what are we even doing? So they're like, we need to just dismiss all of this. This whole thing is garbage. Well, the government is speaking, and they said, as the defendant concedes his argument that the venue in the Eastern District of New York is premised on the court's granting of his motion to dismiss counts 6 through 9 and racketeering acts 12 through 4 and 14 of count 1. Because that motion is baseless and should be denied, venue remains proper in this district. Moreover, the defendant is simply wrong when he asserts that count 6 through 9 and racketeering acts 12 and 14 of count 1 are the only alleged acts in the third superseding indictment that occurred within the Eastern District of New York. Racketeering Act 9 related to Jane Doe number 5, which the defendant does not challenge in his motion to dismiss, is also alleged to have occurred within the Eastern District of New York, of the Northern District of California, and elsewhere. And it says CECF, electronic court filing, I believe, docket number 43, 11 through 12. I'm gonna have to look that up. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the court should deny the defendant's motion to dismiss in its entirety. There it is. Get that shit out of here. What do y'all think?
Yes.
I think the prosecutors, the government has a strong airtight sealed case against them, and they're gonna win.
All right, we got supporters in the chat. All right, let's see.
As long as they're respectful.
Aisha said that's what he said on Gayle King. Oh, okay. JC, they got Weinstein, they got Epstein permanently, and I hope they keep going. Queen Keish, Weinstein got 23 years for adults, so RK should get more than that for underage victims. That's right.
Yeah.
William Bailey, the two of them, something that was living with him got the herpes. Okay. So you're just basically proving, so you agree with us that he's guilty then. Thank you for confirming that, Willie Bailey. Queen Keish said, yeah, Joy Dad said she had it and embarrassed her and recorded the intervention about it. I remember that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you are a member, remember that we did a reading last night with Joycelyn and on Joycelyn. Maybe fellas was kind of with Joycelyn. Yeah. So check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
How you know they didn't give him? Well, I don't know. We don't know, but we're gonna find out, aren't we?
I'm pretty sure.
Find out.
Yeah,
well, you can look at the dates on when he had it, Mr. Darrow, and how long he's had it versus their ages, and then when they caught it through all of the medical records and the pharmaceutical records. So y'all just hold it, okay? It's all gonna come out.
Typically, children who've never even had sex.
Yeah, there was
aren't giving away anything.
Right.
That'll all be proven by records.
Because he did take some young girls' virginity. They're gonna go back to when he first got diagnosed, and then who he went and got in contact with after that, and then just go on.
They got medical records, prescription records, witness testimony, all kinds of proof. And Daryl Nolan says read no tapes or read no tapes. Well, we just said that we reminded everybody that there are tapes, and the government just said you ain't got all our evidence just yet, and you don't gotta have them just yet, and you just wait till you do get them, because we're gonna blow your socks off, suckers.
And I'm glad that they taken all the proper and extra precaution steps, but necessary for any and everything in this case, because this man got a hell of a case. This case going down in history, y'all.
Oh yeah.
And Queen Key said he's had it since 03, as in Joy when he was born in 03.
Damn.
Well, I'm not going to take that back. Joy was, as wasn't.
Hazel E. Hey, Daryl, they were minors. Children that he R-worded. So therefore, they couldn't have gave him the virus when he took their virginities. They were scared of him. It goes deep. And he said his hearsay. Hearsay doesn't keep a man behind bars for 2 years legally, even to the point of the second district court of appeals. Okay. If it was hearsay, he would be out. Okay. So
what is it that none of his supporters do not understand, that consent is on the adult, not the parents?
Not the parents either. They're saying, and here he is with the parents thing. Oh, well, if he R-worded so many children, why isn't the parents on trial too? And it's like, the parents didn't do it. He did it.
Okay. The consent is the adult.
My thing is this. Nobody asking about where his parents was when the things were, where he was somewhere where he had a business all up in the neighborhood. Uncle Wayne or whoever the man name was, when the mama accepted the $5,000 to keep her mouth shut for pressing charges. Now nobody asked R. Kelly, well, where was your parents? Nobody blamed his parents for nothing, but y'all want to blame his victim's parents. That's BS. That's just BS. I mean, I think they just doing this to aggravate us. That's why I said it's no point of going back and forth.
Yeah,
they know the deal, and they know the
that's
truth.
why I said
they
we're gonna find out.
Dumb, stupid shit, and they sound hella dumb. He just admitted himself with his attorneys that he did have a sexual relationship with Aaliyah. Y'all dumbass people talking about something. He didn't even know her. She forced him because she was a gold digger. She lied her age. Ain't nobody lied about nothing. Then you claim that the documents was fake. Hell, y'all even blamed that on Larry. Said he broke into the Fed building and typed up all the fake documents. Even said he bought the warehouse and planted and set up Angelo and the damn R. Kelly. So y'all just all just dumb. Y'all dumb, just like him. Just dumb, and dumb. I can't even express how dumb.
That Willie Bailey. You hear that, Willie Bailey? That one's for you, I think. He gonna sit up here talking about comments.
I ain't never heard no government holding nobody without bail off no damn hearsay. And they know damn well ain't no prosecutors gonna hold nobody out this long without bail on some fucking hearsay. And then you know how much big of a lawsuit that would be for any damn body that's incarcerated off of some damn hearsay.
Like they damn dealing with the security guard. Security guard. Like the government is the security guards at Walmart or something. Like they are so.
This man got a magistrate judge on everything attacked. Even Daryl McDavid got a magistrate judge. He's a prolific predator.
The Queen's like, so we just don't hold him accountable. Is that what we're doing? Okay.
No, because they wanna he got one more hit to make. He got one more album to make.
Yeah, why can't we
I don't know why Daryl's sitting up there acting like he don't know about no tapes when you know you didn't watch them damn tape. You watched that tape.
What they call it, the hot steamy sex tape. What's so hot and steamy about him screwing on a 13-year-old?
And why the supporters didn't hold him accountable and he was acquitted in 2008? Why y'all ain't hold Kells accountable since then?
Are you really asking why it took 2 years for him to go to trial? Have you been following this case? They need more time, really, to gather up all the rest of the stuff. It's too much stuff and too many people, too many moving parts, too many cases, regions, witnesses. I mean, it's a lot. Are you serious right now? Or what difference does it make? Why did it take 2 years? They should have been open and shut. So you think we could have probably he should already have been convicted, is what you're saying. Yet again, confirming that he guilty.
You know what? They know, just like even if you're a notorious drug dealer, government have a lot of patience, and because when they get you, they want to make sure they got you, and they go
right.
You.
They not going to vote. That's right.
And then, like I said, one nigga have the whole Chicago, Illinois under federal investigation. So y'all can thank him for that while y'all bragging and boasting about he put Chicago on the map. I wouldn't let nobody but heaven and God know about what did he put y'all on the map for? Because the image that he painted for Chicago is a very ugly, disgusting eyesore. McDonald's needs to sue his ass because he didn't even donate in the box that they have by the cash register for missing kids or anything, or the what they call it, adoption agencies and stuff. He ain't, but he was always running up in a McDonald's trying to retrieve kids, and he couldn't even. Man, they don't want to get me started. Like I said, y'all don't even know. How y'all know I'm not a victim? How y'all know that? How about that? Huh? How y'all know I ain't the nail in the coffin? How do you know that? You don't know. Have y'all ever thought about that? Have y'all ever even thought about some of these YouTubers or followers is fed agents themselves? Have you ever thought about that? And even while y'all at the rallies and behind the scenes, or y'all pretending to be an R. Kelly supporter, have y'all ever thought about that in y'all little clique? Have you ever thought about that? It's still undercover agents working this case. I hope y'all know that.
Oh, can we play which YouTuber is the Fed game? I think we already, the Feds have already, I think, hung up their coats at this point with as far as their channels go. But yeah, there's probably more out there. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of new YouTubers covering this stuff right now.
Yeah.
I saw one of them. Well, he's not new because he got a big following, but I saw him with the title 7 jurors in R. Kelly's case, all single women. I'm like, what? That's not true.
He don't even know what he's talking about. See how dumb they are?
That's what I'm saying. People just get on here and just say anything. Anything. Y'all think a prayer gonna help this man? Everybody in jail would be free if that was the case. If oh,
I mean, but how do they know? How do they know I don't have a niece or a daughter or somebody that's gonna be on the witness stand that was in one of those cases? How do they know? How do you know? You don't know. You don't know. Hell, I could have been undercover agent. I look like a child. I could have been in there to be with. Yep, y'all, he really has a problem. I was there. See, he gave me, slid me his number. I wasn't there 5 minutes. You don't know. That's just like when the feds set up drug dealers, they mark the money. When they go get this, they make a couple of sales. They send the bait in. The go and the people develop a business, dope relationship. I'm copping dope. Taking the money back, they separate street money from the Fed money. You don't know. Just like they catch the predators online. They have all agents acting like they're a child, having conversations with these internet pervs. And what happened when the meetup spot happened? Put your hands behind your back. You ain't meeting no 12-year-old child today.
Not today.
I'm the one you've been talking to. Or they make up fake Facebook pages and YouTube channels. They do that. But these idiots act like they don't see this when it be first 48 hours, when it be on cops, when it be on these DEA shows. They act like they don't see this. It's on the news, daily news every day.
I got you, Hazel.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I rambled on. I'm sorry.
No,
but
all good.
To our warriors in the chat,
no, you good. You were making good points. It's fine.
I mean, that's just okay. This predatory community of people that got these predatory ways, just like any strippers world, the dope gang, whatever you want to call it, the gang life or whatever. It's always two things guaranteed. You either gonna get taken down by the law officials, or either you gonna end up getting in a situation and you gonna be beating your creator who put you here on earth. That's the only two things if you don't stop what you're doing or you don't get out, because eventually somebody is gonna fork you over. They're gonna tell. Everybody runs their mouth. I mean, the record label, hell, Jive Records was mentioned in Maxwell and Epstein case. From what she forked over 200 pages of names from people that's in the actor business, to that's in the music business, that's even have organizations and companies and executives, all kind of things, from the White House on down to little everyday average people like me, middle class people. I mean, the stuff runs deep. I mean, at least we get started somewhere with putting these people away.
Absolutely. And these people are just trolling, first of all.
Yeah.
And we know, first of all, come on now. He want to talk about common sense. Common sense. So you've been watching that Gayle King interview, huh? Fanboy.
I gave you 30 years.
You step your way up out of here. All right, Hazel E., welcome to the Mod Squad, baby. All right, so well, that's the document. It's Saturday night. What else we talking about? Are we just talking about R. Kelly? Are we done, or what's up? We're going on 2 hours.
Allegedly, a stimulus supposed to come, and they're fighting for at least start at $2,000, if not more, monthly until the pandemic is over, because we got the Delta strand and we have all these other variant strands that's
Is
been.
this just for people with young kids, or what is this?
So it's supposed to be, adults and kids. Kids, if you're 17 years of age and younger, supposed to get 1,000, and adults, they're trying to get, they start off with the 2,000. So that's supposed to start. I don't know. They're still working on getting it passed. They started a petition. They got they're close to 2 million signatures. So they said, like, if it gets approved and passed, we can see that start rolling out in September. No, by the end of September.
Well, I'm for them
And they
to
tell Biden having a meeting today.
we got
About
Trump here in Florida, but it's bad right here right now. Florida is the center of the Delta, and it's bad. I've been like self quarantining for the last 2 weeks, because just going out just if I had to, because there's a lot of people not wearing masks down here in Florida. It's not good. And in fact, I think we've got 216 deaths per day. Like the stats are out of this world right now in Florida. They're bad. It's bad. And so I also want to say some prayers and love over to Haiti, because Haiti was still recovering from the hurricane, right? And then they had the president assassinated, and they were hit with a level 7 on the Richter scale. And I saw that this morning, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my God, it's already a poor country, and they're in bad shape."
Bad shape.
Also, Vegas, the school board, the school started back. The school board and the town meeting, they've been fighting, like getting thrown out of some of the teachers and the citizens. They're against wearing a mask. They're putting up fights, physical fights. It's been 3 days. They've been having these little meetings with people speaking out. I don't understand. Then we already done had a whole middle school and a high school first day back. They had to shut it down, send the kids home because of the numbers of positive results and people having the Delta strand. Whatever they call it. It's
Variant.
So it's politics.
And,
It's politics they care about, and they fundraising off of, especially the governors in Florida.
He said that the schools, if they wear masks, he will cut the funding off. And we had 4 teachers die Thursday. 4 teachers.
Yes, but you know what? He doesn't have the authority to do that anyway. That was already found out. He does, like I said, and then he's fundraising. So again, it's power over people. That's why they need to. That's why this should be a lesson. And when the 2022 election come up, they need to vote him out, because this is the guy that's supposed to be trying to run for the president or the vice president in 2024.
That's right. They already have a former senator. His name is Charlie, that is fundraising to go up against him. So it will be a big fight down here.
Well, make sure you vote. Anybody who's voting, who is eligible to vote. If you're not even eligible, get eligible.
That's right.
Make sure you're heard, because it's a lot of things happening right now that you got to pay attention to. They be trying to slip stuff through the cracks, behind the scenes, under the wall, however you say that. Slip thing. They trying to slip one over on you, and you got to pay attention. I put this article.
I said they have to pay attention and listen.
Yes.
Because like you said, they were trying to slide some stuff in there real fast. You got to catch it, and you got to definitely pay attention, because of course we can't just go 100%. You just got to investigate and third eye everything.
So I put up this article because we were talking about the virus, and I said I wasn't going to talk about this thing no more because they're shutting people down on their channels. But I saw this article just now and I'm just like, I'm confused as to, so all this different information is coming out. And now here this says fully vaccinated Southwest flight attendant 36 dies from the virus, not the jab, nearly 2 months after testing positive following a trip to Hawaii. And fully vaccinated. So it says Maurice Reggie Shepperson, 36, who was based in Las Vegas, died at Henderson Hospital on Tuesday after spending weeks on a ventilator. He had checked into the hospital on July 7th, weeks after testing positive following his trip to Hawaii in early June. His mother said her son had taken every precaution against the virus, including getting fully vaccinated, wearing a mask, washing his hands frequently, and sanitizing surfaces. He is among a very small fraction of Americans who have died after suffering breakthrough coronavirus infections after vaccination. And this is him. Wow. You know, what I've been seeing a lot on the news is about just the variants that are morphing, or what's the term? Where's JC? Let me come back over here. The virus, you know, it's losing its they're saying that against some of these variants it's not as potent, it's not helping a lot, some people, not everybody. It's different for different people. That's the other thing. It's confusing.
It is, because my father got the first shot, tequila shot, you know what I'm talking about. And his physician told him, don't come back, don't get the second one, because the risk. My daddy,
because he has health issues. He has underlying issues, though, right?
But the physician hasn't even received neither one. So when your doctor tells you, I don't even have it.
And most doctors aren't coming out publicly and saying this, So,
not only that, we also got to pay attention. I noticed it's been things mentioned that they keep saying the water level is going to be a water shortage there. But I don't know if it's in California or anywhere else. But I know out here in Vegas, and I think they mentioned Arizona about the water shortage is becoming alarming. And they have concern in the scientists that tests the water. And now I read Fox 5 out here that something, I think it's up in Reno or in Pahrump, something tested positive in the water. And so I want to we all keep our eyes on this water supply all around the world. People just try to see if they're saying anything, because I don't know why that's laying on my mind and heart that something's going to be next dealing with water.
Oh yeah, JC said mutating. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. These mutating, yep, more infectious strains. Yeah, all my doctors, she said, have it, and the nurses. Okay, yeah, they're mandating medical workers, healthcare workers, military, teachers. I know Paris is still going down in Paris heavy right now with the protesters because of the vaccine passport that they have mandated. Got to have that passport. And they're talking about here in the United, I don't know if it was just California, but I remember reading in the US, they're thinking about doing it for all indoor spaces, having to have a passport. So
yeah, did you see that they arrested 2 guys that had fake medical passports, saying that they were, they took all they vodka shot and they didn't.
Wait, what?
They arrested 2 young males that were trying to travel, I believe, to Hawaii or maybe somewhere else, that they had a fake medical pass saying that they had took their vodka shots and they didn't.
No, I didn't hear about that. What about that earthquake? Was it where was the earthquake? Was it Haiti?
Yeah,
it was Haiti.
They had over 304 or 7, the last count of people that died.
Yeah.
I see JC had made a statement that they have a storm coming too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I saw the storm, but I was thinking, well, I thought they had an earthquake. Well, you could telling me they had that earthquake and now a storm is coming?
Yeah.
It's hurricane season. And right now, that's what I was telling you. The bad weather here is spread, and it's moved over in the Gulf. So, but that's the one that's getting ready to hit them. It starts with a G. It's a woman's name. That's what they developed down there. So, and plus, they still haven't recovered from the hurricane from last year. They were still down. People were down there still rebuilding. And so had all that. Then they had the president assassinated last month, right? And now they got hit with the hurricane. I'm sorry, they got hit with the earthquake this morning, and there is a storm, a hurricane developing out right by them right now. It's
So
bad.
their president was assassinated. There's an earthquake, and a storm is coming.
Yep.
Pray for Haiti.
Right.
So Miss Della, what's going on in politics with this insurrection stuff? Update us, please. Hello.
So as you know, I don't need you saying hello. I'm here.
Come on, Smooth Betty. Come on, Smooth Betty. Give it to us.
So as
you don't need it, but you're going to get it, baby girl. Baby Yoda.
You know, yesterday was Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, the conspiracy theory, the QAnon people actually believed that Trump was going to be reinstated yesterday. Yesterday came and went.
Oh, yesterday was the day, so it has come and gone.
Yes.
Again.
So now actually, I believe September the 18th, they're actually going to do a rally at the Capitol again to prove that it wasn't an insurrection on January the 6th. So as far as it does seem like it's dying down a little bit, just a little bit, but you still got a lot of people that believe that Trump won. You still got one person, and I know you probably seen this commercial, the My Pillow commercial. That man is, a former crack addict. He has been just still saying he got all this evidence and Biden is going to just give it back to Trump. And he had this big old conference, with no evidence. It has been an absolutely disaster. So, but again, he is still around. He is still threatening any Republican that goes along with Biden. He's still jealous. He's still dangerous. As of last week, we found out more details of everything that he possibly did to overturn this election up until the day that Joe Biden was inaugurated. He put on so much pressure on the Department of Justice, meaning he called them every day, wanted them to send something to those states that he lost to say that the election was a fraud, and he would take him and some 3 Republicans would take care of the rest. They refused to do it. People resigned. So again, when somebody does this much dirt and dangerous, this person needs to be arrested. They need to be investigated. So that's what's basically just going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. We cannot allow this man to be back in office.
Oh,
like I said, his agenda.
No, I don't see that happening.
Everything that Joe Biden is doing, and Beautiful Spirit is correct. Like I said, even though Biden is doing everything he can possibly do to try to get people to get the vaccine or to wear masks, and you got states they're fighting. You got people. I believe there was something in California today at a vaccine place. A fist fight broke out. Somebody got stabbed.
Oh, wow.
You had parents in Florida bullying people, arguing with people. Their child is not going to wear a mask. I mean, I cannot believe that. I mean, again, I believe that Trumpism brings the worst versions out of people.
Yeah.
And that's the new norm right now. The road rage, people shooting and killing people standing up, people, white power and all this other stuff. And I believe it's sad.
I actually found that fight. Let me pull it up, child. It looks crazy. Daily Mail and all these damn ads. Man is stabbed in massive brawl between Antifa rioters and anti-vaccine protesters outside of Los Angeles City Hall. Let me see. That looks crazy.
They ain't playing. They was going head up like.
Oh God. Hold on.
Oh no.
And I don't want to feel. I don't want this. This is how I feel about it. You don't want to
Oh
wear a
wow.
mask, so look. You don't want to
Do
wear a
you
mask, and
do you
see,
see
they
this
look Trump.
sign? Trump
F
2024, fuck your feelings. For real. This is what they do. This is what they're
Yes,
doing.
but remember, but he won in 2020. Remember, you see what I'm saying? He won in 2020. So, but again, so now you got to move on to the next one.
But they want to
Then,
stereotype
so
our beautiful
again,
black culture. They doing some real ignorant nigga shit right here. You right.
then you know what? Then don't get a vaccine. So this is, and I'm not being selfish or anything. This is how I feel, and I'm just gonna go, especially like these people that's out here protesting, spitting, and all this stuff. Then don't
Yeah,
get a
that's
vaccine. Don't wear a mask. And then you know what? When you get sick, stay the fuck home. Don't go to the hospital. The
That's
hospitals are
right.
pulling up. New Orleans, you have some of these, they don't even have beds any longer. So, like I said, that's what's going on right now. That the hospitals, I mean, they're actually building tents outside to make hospital beds because they're running out of room. But again, no, you don't want to get a mask. You don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to get a vaccine. So don't go to the hospital. Stay home and die.
This lady, so they're protesting out here too about mandating vaccines. And it says this this sign says whoever's mandating vaccine, your mom's a hoe. I can't believe they with their kids right there in tow. These people are crazy. Um,
And
I
again, your
mean,
freedom is
this
not
is
being taken away from you. It's nothing but your freedom. But so you're gonna sit out there and fist fight and go to jail. These people, and JC is correct. These people are stupid. All these people are going to jail. You've had all these lawyers that go and lie. The three Trump lawyers are being sued. Rudy Giuliani is almost broke. He's doing cameo videos for $275. Trump never paid him. All these people are going to jail while Trump is living his best life. So you're
that
doing
woman
all this dirty
strong.
work for him.
Look at her arm, y'all. She ain't playing.
I'm looking. That's a head to head right there. That's like they said the anti-vaccination protester on the right clashes with a counter protester during an anti-vaccination rally near City Hall. And he's all up on her neck. Like, what? Is she cutting bleeding? She is bleeding down the right side of her face.
Mm,
And that's what I mean. This is ridiculous. And then
yeah.
again, don't think that you can't get the virus, Missy. You see what I'm saying? These people, they don't understand. You've had over 500 something thousand people. You got people dying. I think it's almost a 600 something people dying a day now.
So I'm trying to understand the message. So what are you saying exactly here? You're saying
Well,
because
no. So what I'm saying is like the people at the school screaming, the people that's out, out there protesting. What I'm saying is basically what they've been showing is they've been showing people in the hospital. As soon as somebody's in the hospital and they on a ventilator, it's too late. They're trying to go ahead and get the vaccine. The hospitals are filling up. They're
so
begging people.
you're basically advocating for the vaccine. You're saying that because of
Well,
people, are
well,
you blaming this on the
yes.
unvaccinated people? That's what I'm trying to understand.
No, so what I'm saying is I don't see you out there fucking protesting. That's what I'm saying. You are different. I know people that is not going to get the vaccine. However, I know that when they go in the store, they're going to wear a mask. They're going to do what they got to do.
We got
I
to call
also
them.
know people, I know another version of people that refuses to get the vaccine. And guess what? Will walk in the store like nothing with no mask and don't give a shit. That's what I'm talking about. So for those people that chooses not to, don't you want to fight and argue and protest and all that about it. When you get sick, don't go to the hospital. Sit your ass home.
Tasha Smith, are you puffing? Puff puff pass? Is that what that is? Welcome.
But it has been people that's done passed away after they got the shot, the tequila shot.
Yeah, I didn't even finish reading the article about the flight attendant, but he had been a flight attendant since 2007, and he took his mom to that Hawaii trip. It was a work trip, and he got sick. They said on the way back he started showing symptoms, and he didn't make it. So, but he was wearing a mask, and he was vaccinated, and he was doing all the right things according to everybody around him, and also his mom didn't get sick.
So and again, like I said, you never know what somebody's what other symptoms somebody may have in their body. You see what I'm saying?
It's
You
a
do you know
gamble
Yeah,
how
either
many
you
way.
don't
millions and
know.
millions and millions of people have been vaccinated?
Yeah.
So again, you that could be something. It could be something else. So again, I'm fully vaccinated. So again, am I showing any symptoms?
I think it's a gamble either way. It's just
Is
that
losing your mind a symptom? No, I'm just kidding.
So am I
exactly.
losing my mind?
I think
No,
I think we're talking past tense.
Oh, that's lovely.
You got a new mind, a big and better mind. There you go.
What
Papa
I'm
Gummy
saying is, so
mind.
that's my opinion on that. I don't really. We're not going to talk about it no more. I'm not saying talk about it, but what I'm saying is, I mean, that's just my opinion. Especially
Look,
when you got hospitals are filling up and there's no more room, and you out here protesting about it, how
I
your
mean,
freedom is being taken away from you, and then as soon as you get a symptom, you want to run your ass to the hospital.
I have to say that a lot of things we see on the news is propaganda. So I don't even believe everything I'm hearing and reading about this. These honestly, I believe there's a virus. I'm not saying there's no virus. I'm not saying don't protect yourself, don't wear masks. All I'm saying is that the media push right now is the agenda is to get people to get vaccinated. So in order to do that, they got to scare you and they got to tell you.
Well, you're not scaring me when you see people in the hospital. So basically, that what I watch is the people that's already in the hospital bed, that's on a ventilator and things like that. And remember, I do know people who had COVID, who
I
actually
understand
had
that,
it.
but what I'm saying is that what you see in the news, you cannot, it's not, you got to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt, is all I'm saying.
Like
Here.
what? Like the total of deaths? You don't believe it was the total of deaths?
I don't know that they're all related because I know that there have been real doctors and people behind the scenes of these hospitals coming out to say that some of these numbers upon death on the death certificates, they're saying it's that to get the numbers up. All I'm saying is
oh, I got what you're saying. I get it.
I'm not saying ain't nobody getting sick and nobody's dying. All I'm saying is though that the push to get people vaccinated is on heavy right now. They're
Well,
paying
yes, that's
celebrities,
because
they're
of
paying
the
influencers.
new Delta. That is the reason why, because of the new
That's
Delta.
not
But
that
like,
they've been doing it before the Delta. They were doing it before the Delta and shaming people who don't get vaccinated.
well, like I said, I don't
President of the
know.
United States basically calling us dummies, if you want to
Well,
say.
no, so hold on. What didn't I just? I gave you my version of it. What did I say? I said it depends. I told you I know some people that are not vaccinated. Just like for an example, I was told that a person was coughed on at the store. They were purposely coughed on at the store because they didn't have a mask on. I said, you didn't do anything. No, I didn't do nothing. You know why that person didn't do nothing? Because they knew they weren't vaccinated. That's why. So
What?
again,
Wait a minute. Wait. Who was it? So the person that got coughed on didn't do anything
no, didn't do anything.
because they're not vaccinated.
Because so normally, somehow something pop on TV where or somebody bring their camera out and start filming people. I'm going to just assume that person didn't want to be filmed, knowing that person know that person wasn't wearing a mask, didn't want no type of exposure to it.
So
Because
the
now let me
non-vaccinated person was
let me
coughed
be the
on.
example. Let me walk up in the store
Mhm.
and without my mask on, I'm fully vaccinated, and someone called for me. I don't give a damn what film will you take out. It's gonna be on.
So wait, so you're saying
That's right, Miss Bella.
the person that got coughed on is not vaccinated, nor were they wearing a mask.
That is correct.
Okay.
And they didn't
So
do
that's
anything.
the distinction. So there's people who aren't vaccinated who don't believe in none of this stuff, and they walking around with no mask and being just like they don't believe in the virus, they don't believe in nothing, and
That is
that is
correct.
a group of people. But there's another group who are being safe, protective, using building their immune system, making sure all the
Yes.
precautions are protocols are being adhered to, and all that. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
So that's why I said I'm not gonna. Like I said, I know certain people that's not gonna be vaccinated, and I know that they're taking precautions of themselves. And then got some that don't care. Yeah, like
And
I
there's
said,
and
we'll
that
pull the
distinction should be
vaccination.
made.
I still wear my mask. Hubby does not wear his mask except for work. We go out together, and I have my mask on. I don't know why, but I just do.
I mean, it's called just taking extra precautions. There's nothing wrong with that. Your life is important. Like that's all you got. At the end of the day, if your life is gone, it's over. Game over. So you're supposed to do what you got to do to protect yourself. But to say, so some of us believe we are protecting ourselves by not getting the vaccine, if you can understand that. So it's just a different perspective. It's because of the various different reasons. We come to the table with different experiences, different knowledge, and different what is it called, exposure to different types of things and people and information. So yeah, and if you out there not vaccinated and not protecting yourself, you want to die like sooner than later. That's the bottom line.
Exactly, and that's what I said. Exactly, just don't care. So now that you know things are they're getting harder, meaning there are some jobs now, just like my job. We're not going to say where I work at. However, they are now they want everybody to be vaccinated by September. Not only that, is a possibility that people may lose their jobs
Yeah.
unless you get unless you get some kind of statement from, religious, or you get something from your doctor was saying why you cannot be vaccinated. But a lot of jobs are doing that. They're even
Oh
saying
yeah,
that you can
I
get
had
the
mentioned
vaccine on
before
the
the
side.
teachers, the military, the any city workers, like anybody they can mandate, they're gonna mandate, and they're gonna leave the independent businesses to make their own call until a new law comes into play, some type of employment law or something. I don't know, but um, Queen said they weren't. She was at the hospital. They weren't taking proper precaution. They willed the dead bodies past us without warning to be able to suit up to get 6 feet away. Oh hell no. Um, I wear mine when out. It's hard for me, but better than dying. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean, that's really it. Like,
Can
if
you
anybody
imagine?
ever dare step to
Can,
me and try to tug on my mask,
can
you
you
will
imagine?
see me viral.
Exactly. And
You
can
will
you?
see
So,
me
like
knocking
I
them
said, I haven't
out.
seen none of that around here. Where I know that some people get harassed for wearing masks. I
Yeah.
wish somebody would say. I wish somebody would say. I probably lose my mind. I probably start break down. I got stung by a wasp today. Oh my God, it
Oh,
hurt.
I've been getting that. That's my grandmother's backyard. We just killed a hive. Oh, well, not me, but I got the spray, and then somebody else sprayed the hive. It was a whole hive, honey. Ugh. Every time I come home, I got stings.
It
So
hurt. I got low tolerance for pain.
it's gonna itch too. When it starts to heal, give it a day or two.
So
The
yeah. So
spray
like
put
I
on
said, I
some.
can't have the hubby to take me and the dog down.
Right, because I don't understand. Explain to me the thought behind this, where people say, well, my child can't get vaccinated, but we got vaccinated to protect our child because they can't get vaccinated.
Think a
So,
child that's under 12 cannot be vaccinated.
so
They
how is it protecting them for you not to be vaccinated just because it masks your symptoms and stuff? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you aren't going to have it.
well, so that's why a lot of people are so skeptical because there are just so many unanswered questions. Just like I believe it was um what is Miss P's name?
Yeah.
But thank with the people with the teachers dying.
Oh
Four
yeah, the
teachers,
four
four
teachers.
teachers
Yeah.
died, unvaccinated. I mean, so I don't know. So I look,
I
like I
think
said,
I
it
think
just
one was vaccinated and three weren't. Well, I can't remember that mix, but one or two were vaccinated. The thing about it right now is that with the mutations, they're saying that even if you're vaccinated, that's why we don't believe that, oh, you're not to get the symptoms and that and this and that, but are still that are vaccinated fully are still dying from the mutation, the Delta variant. So we just don't know what to believe.
I mean, it's honestly, in my opinion, still a clinical trial.
I
Because
hear you, Hazel. I see her little thing up there, goddess. You see that?
no, she talking about people getting their mask snatched off.
Yes, that's what. And I'm with her. I wish somebody would grab my mask.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
God, I would lose my mind. It'd be my last little time on air.
I, I'm telling you, Miss Della, I'm with you because I wish somebody, boy, Lord Jesus, huh. I'll be up there with Sharon Denise Tatum, or so over there where all the women are incarcerated. I wish somebody would too. I would. Mm-mm.
I don't think we had that kind of chaos around here. I haven't seen it, so I mean, I don't really go that many places. The places that I go, normally people, like I say, you see half and half. If I would go to Walmart, I don't know. I believe it or not, the black people got on the mask, the white people don't. I don't know why.
Mm.
You know, I
Hmm.
see people come in the store, they feel entitled, like they act like they don't know that it's back mandatory wearing the mask in places and out. And they just walk through. Like when I played my little Buffaloes over a week ago, guy comes in and he's jumping up, and then like the hostess that plays like, you have to put your mask on, sir. I'll go and use the restroom. I got my mask in my hand, and it's like
Man.
he gave her a hard time,
What
and
they gonna do? Wipe their ass with it?
so he was, I'm playing the machine. Leave me alone. But he
So
got
even
thrown
at
out. He eventually
even at
got
my
thrown
baby
out.
casino, it's every so the little baby casino that I go to, they still do. So they still left the machines like 6 feet apart. So they left those where it is. So you really not sitting by nobody. And the majority of the people do have masks on again, except for the white people. Everybody, it's like older people up in there. So a lot of people have their masks on. I just, like I say, Steve, the hubby doesn't wear but I wear mine. And then when I
Mhm.
get outside and I go to my vehicle, the mask gets ripped off. And
Yeah.
whoever,
Same
and
here.
I carry my hand sanitizer, right? I use the Dove with moisturizer. It smells good. And I use that, and I keep it in my hand. And even if I have to jump from machine to machine, I still clean my hands. I'm used to it.
I
Right.
do the same thing. I got wipes and sanitizer and theirs. I be using it all. This
I do the same thing when I go to the grocery store. I get my wipes. I wipe down the cart, the top. I have on my mask and
Yeah.
everything. I don't be playing.
Hmm. I still don't like people standing too close behind me neither, even though they have removed the distancing things. It looks like, but I'm like, get off me! Like,
Well,
get.
some people, yeah. Well, you know what? Like I said, depends on where you live. Because I try to stay away from everybody, and I do see somebody, people trying to stay they ditch. One time, one and Giant, the grocery store. This, I was paying for my food, and this guy came up. I said, "You a little bit too close, aren't you?" He be like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." He backed back. I
Yeah,
mean, he could have been trying to
I
look
have
at
to
my
say
damn
something.
number on my credit card.
I don't like that. Like some people just don't have boundaries, and in general, like even with COVID, without COVID, some people just don't have them type of boundaries. I've had to check people plenty in the grocery store, especially like,
Yeah, I don't play them games. You can back up with where I'm from, honey. You do all that, we thinking you about to be up to something. So we gotta be already here.
exactly.
Mess around and get your block knocked off. I don't
And
know what you
it
up
was
to.
all in my cart today. Like I'm in line minding my own business, and I see these eyes. I'm like, these eyes are like, I'm feeling them on my right side, and he all in my basket. Talking about, ooh, you eat good. Well, yeah, I do eat good. All of these vegetables, because I had a basket full of vegetables for my soup. And it looks like a lot, but I'm like, are you in my business? Why? Why? What is the problem, man?
Yeah,
And
people.
he was just, I was like, wow, people are just, you eat. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do actually. Yeah. And it's not just, yeah, I make soup for me and my family every week. I've been doing that for a few weeks now, and I take a batch to my grandma, give my son some for him and his girlfriend, because it's all about this gut health and this general just you know,
That's
I
right.
agree.
giving this immune
You
system.
are
You can
what you eat.
Right.
That's
you can
right.
freeze me some soup and ship it on over here. I'll cook me some
I'll
crabs.
I'll give you the recipe and you get them ingredients and you get that soup together. It's so easy to. Oh, well, you know, it's a lot of prep, but once you get it going and
It's over. I'm not a
it's
prepper. I will
it's
burn it in a
delicious.
second. It's
Oh
over.
no. What? It's cutting and
Anything that's over
chopping, cleaning, cutting
anything
and
that's over 10 minutes of prep is over.
chopping.
There's no
Yeah,
cooking
yeah,
up
it's
in
over.
here.
It's about 30 minutes of prep, I think.
Oh, that's over. Nope.
Miss Bella.
Nope.
Well, there's soups you could buy, but you maybe even just drink some bone broth every day. That's good for you.
Bone broth.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we would have to talk outside of the lab. I don't want nobody to see what the hell wrong with her.
Okay.
We'll have to talk
I'm a
outside of the lab because I don't know what no bone broth is. You're not gonna get your ass cursed out on the call.
it's not an unusual thing. It's right over there where your vegetable and chicken broth stocks are and all that.
So what kind of bone?
They have chicken bone broth
Oh,
and
good.
beef
That's
bone
okay.
broth. Yeah,
That's okay.
different
Oh,
types of bone broth. That's where all the nutrients and stuff are at.
That's okay.
All the flavor. Then down in the South, they cook them bones down for flavor and things.
But it's
Okay.
healthy. Yeah. I'm gonna do a members only thing on this that we could cook the soup together.
All right.
So I'm got this thing up on the screen because I was listening to the news and I hear about the Taliban running amok all up and through Afghanistan, and I knew this was gonna happen as soon as
Yes,
I
you
heard.
did know it was gonna
I
happen.
told
Yes,
you.
you did.
I sure
Well,
did. I said, what are they doing? Pulling all the U.S. troops out. Something's
So
about to go down.
he's gonna send like 3,000 troops back there.
Yeah, to get the
try to get the
Americans.
Americans out of there.
Yeah, exactly. But why did you leave like that in the first place? That was a bad move. I saw this coming myself. I'm not even in the military. Like, I knew this was going to happen. And also, before we totally pulled out, or right around the time we did, there was what do they call that? A bridge or a pathway that was in between two cities. I can't think of which ones. But it used to be a marketplace. It was a marketplace that was shut down. Okay. So now it was back open, and it's all mix and mingle with these two cities. And now I said, oh, something's bad's about to happen. I was like, this is not good. We're leaving. They're trying to open up marketplaces now, but the Taliban and them is still lurking. They're going to come in and look at them. Spoils of war. Look at them with
they living large.
Living it up. They're collecting all kinds of goods.
Do you know that there was over 220,000 immigrants that crossed in July?
Wow. It's out of control. So,
Yes.
I mean, they did this by design. I don't know why now it's, we got to go get the Americans out the embassy or whatever. Like, what did you think was going to happen? What did you think?
Well, you leave my president alone.
You can have them. I don't want none of them. And you can have homegirl too. What's her name?
See, I'm pointing the dirt. The burgundy shirt, he came from the back, like,
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, so they have to do so. It's out of control down there. You cannot have that many people crossing the border like that. So, and of course, that can cause them to lose, because people are gonna be in fear, and you're gonna vote for the person that claims that they're gonna be able to save you from all of that. So that right there is a bad move. They're gonna have to do something to stop that. I don't know what they can do. You need to send those people back.
Darius Fowler said, "What are y'all talking about?"
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
This regular chit chat, Darius.
Yeah, just a little U.S. government, just a little, international headlines. And then there's this story I just seen here. If you can see this, the fastest U.S. college athlete Cameron Burrow's death in parking garage is ruled a suicide.
What?
I had to read about this. It says that the tragic death of former NCAA The tragic death of former NCAA track star Cameron Burrell in a Houston, Texas parking garage has been ruled a suicide. Burrell, 26, died on Monday from a gunshot wound to the head, according to the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. The University of Houston had announced the former sprinter's death on Tuesday. His loved ones say they are devastated by his unexpected passing and are going through profound sorrow. During his collegiate career, Burrell was the NCAA Division I champion over 100 meters in 2018 and anchored Houston's 4x100. Somebody actually killed him because of something maybe that either, let's see, a gay lover, a conspiracy having to do with the sport. Maybe there was a bet that he was supposed to, lose something so somebody could win their bet. I don't know. There's all kinds of things. I hate to, this man's death, is not a joke. I'm not putting it to light. But all I'm saying, for them to deem it a suicide, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
But you have a point, because I think about the one music artist, 40 Cal, that was part of Dipset in California. His daughter went missing off a campus in Buffalo, New York. And the district attorney had a press conference saying that it was a suicide, but they still haven't recovered the young lady's body or her whereabouts.
Well, they found her.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they found her. On that track star,
yeah.
I'm just so curious that why wasn't he on the Olympic team either?
I know. I was waiting to see that he had qualified for the Olympics, or I wonder if he even did he try?
And then I'm wondering if he might have had. See, this is the mental health in the Black community.
Yeah,
like sometimes there is a not just depression, and also just an imbalance, and it goes untreated. And this is the thing.
Well, and especially for athletes going as hard as it sounds like he goes, because there's a lot of that's dedicated, and there's a lot of expectation around it. So the fact that he wasn't a part of the Olympics could say something too.
Right.
I'm just trying to read the little things to see if there was anything extra. I didn't hear about it in the first place, so maybe there was more information in the initial reporting of it. Let me see. Wow. It's really, really sad.
He was young.
Yeah, it just talks about how, like I read before, that he was a sprinter at the University of Houston and the different divisions that he was in, or the different, what are they? Not sports, but the things that he did, and within that. Yeah, he is credited with being the fastest college athlete in the U.S. Okay, wait a minute. It says Burrell grew up surrounded by athletes. His father was a gold medalist at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics in the 4x100 relay and the former world record holder in the 100 meter. His mother also won track gold in the 1992 games.
Wow.
Right. His godfather, Carl Lewis, was a legendary track star. We all know.
Oh, my God.
And 9-time Olympic gold medalist. Burrell is survived by his father, Leroy, his mother, Michelle Finn Burrell, and brothers, Joshua and Jaden. Funeral arrangements are pending. See, everybody in his family was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But not him. I'm wondering if that played a part. Maybe we'll do a reading on him.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now, of course.
Yeah.
All readings are going to be in the members channel. So, okay, I'm just looking through the different news. Let me go back. Taliban, the vaccinated guy died. Oh my God, here's another abuser. I meant to talk about him about a month ago, but this is the Dodgers' Trevor Bauer punched and choked another woman during sex without consent, according to previous protection order, new report claims. Yeah, this guy's been in the news for some despicable acts. see. Where's the picture at? Two black eyes. Her whole face is scratched up. Baseball players don't get as much media coverage when they do stuff, I notice, rather than the football players. So it says he had another restraining order placed on him against him in 2020 for allegedly beating and choking an Ohio woman during sex. Woman claims Power beat and choked her without consent and threatened to kill her through text messages. The woman withdrew the order after Bauer's attorney threatened legal action. Bauer will be in court next week for a similar accusation from another woman. The woman, known as only Miss Hill, claims Bauer punched her repeatedly, choked her unconscious, and sodomized her without her consent during sex. Bauer denies the allegations, claiming the woman willingly participated in rough sex, which was wholly consensual. He has not been charged with the crime. So he's going to court, but he hasn't been charged for anything. But she got all these lacerations and black eyes and whatnot. The star is already under investigation for an alleged sexual assault in California. Bauer, who has denied all allegations, has not been charged, as I said. And yeah, this is him. Still playing and still on the team, probably, I think, too.
Yeah, they won the World Series, the Dodgers. So he's got a little layer of protection, but obviously he's a sicko.
It says in one message, so they say they have text messages. One message Bauer is alleged to have written, "I'd really hate for him to see a video of you getting fucked." A protection order was issued. Well, so was she married? Who's he talking about? Saying, well, basically he was threatening to share videos of them having sex with family members, it says. So maybe it was her father or her brother. What a douche. So there's a protection order against him. He did post, he said he hit back at the Post report in a Twitter statement on Saturday, a Twitter statement, they call them Twitter statements now, calling the allegations a false narrative. Oh, he might as well just say rumor. They like to use that word rumor. He posted, "Despite my representatives providing a wealth of contradictory evidence, documents, statements, and background information showing the pattern of disturbing behavior by this woman and her attorneys, the Washington Post opted to ignore." I'm not going to read his statement. I don't care what he says. I really don't care.
So he not admitted that he probably didn't know that he reported it too. Another damn.
They said she did. It does say here that she demanded $3.4 million for her to remain silent. Well, you should have paid her. I mean, I'm just saying.
I would have told him, "I'll show my own daddy, B. Now bring it. I'm still pressing charges against your, or you know."
So
it wouldn't have came out that night. So the way you think I do, boy. Oh.
Wow. Yeah, a lot. You gotta love the daily news. It's just so diverse. So much stuff in here.
Stuff like that, and we're gonna see just right where you go. If you're gonna make it to the next game, go ahead. I dare you.
Oh, this is the one about the teachers. School tragedy. It says 4 unvaccinated teachers from one Florida school district die of the virus within 24 hours of each other.
So they were all unvaccinated. Ms. Della was right. I thought that 1 or 2 were vaccinated.
2 teachers and a teacher's aide died, along with a Broward County Public Schools graduate with close ties to the school district passed away. Wow. That's
women.
Florida is currently the state with the most children hospitalized with COVID-19, with infection rates in children at over 19%. So the children are now being attacked more so.
Yeah, because many Trump don't want them to wear masks. And the thing that's so contradictory is his kids wear masks at the private school they
Yeah,
attend.
that's the case for a lot of these politicians. Their kids wear masks. They're at private schools that mandate the mask. Yet they're out here saying, "Oh no, your kids don't need no. They don't need a mask. They're good. They can't get vaccinated. They can't. They don't need to wear a mask. Just let them just die. Just throw your kids to the wolves." And most schools are starting this week, right? Coming or have started recently.
Our school, we've been in school for a week. Yeah.
Yeah, last week. Yeah. Let's see. 2 people are killed and 30 rescued from their rooftops amid catastrophic flooding sparked by monsoon rains in Arizona. Wow,
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that.
We had a grocery store that yesterday. What do they call it? The front part from this top on down collapsed. Supermarket, a Mexican store.
Did you guys know Eminem has a non-binary child named Stevie?
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't know that.
Says Eminem's 19-year-old child Stevie, who came out as gender fluid, appeared to call out the rapper on a TikTok video for allegedly not telling them they were adopted until after their biological father had died.
Wow.
Oh, I guess that Free Britney campaign is coming to light. The father has stepped down, I read, as conservator, finally. I guess that's good for her. I hope she don't end up broke at the end of the day.
Lord, she don't put out a video dancing or unbutton her shirt. I'm like, oh my God.
She does that all the time.
Miss Bella. She went topless, Miss Bella.
All the time on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, she's always doing that. She don't really put on makeup or stuff though. She look like she just be waking up out the bed like, let me get on Instagram for my millions of fans.
Ready to roll, baby.
Okay. Let's see what's going on with the migrant families. It says migrant families are left stranded after being expelled from the U.S. under Biden's cruel, unlawful, and ineffective immigration rules as the number of people crossing the border rise to a 21-year high. Look at these people on a boat. I mean, they're just the problems that make them come here. Like, this place we got enough. We're going through enough. Jeez. And they're not being bringing in the viruses and stuff. I'm just saying. It don't have nothing to do with, people's where they come from. It's more so just, we got enough going on. Shit. All right, y'all. Let's see. Now, this guy is saying it's a pandemic of the young now. Hospitalization rates for adults in their 30s hit a record high. Yeah, they're saying the 30s to the early 40s people aren't being vaccinated, and the children. Well, anybody bring any other story? Oh yeah, before we leave, I want to cover. So, okay, as I had mentioned earlier, we had a part 1 and part 2 of how the music industry enabled R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
So during that, we collected names and affiliations of what labels and whatnot. And I want to dive into these people because these people have some they're complicit also, I believe. But I want to read one of the people because it just happens to be up on my screen. So I think some people, we already have heard this, but some people haven't. Oh, shared the wrong screen. Hold on. Some people ain't heard this yet. So, but somebody brought it up in the comments about this woman. And so we'll the publicist. So R. Kelly's publicist, I believe I can quit is what the headline on TMZ said. This is back in November of 2007. Regina Daniels, who worked as R. Kelly's publicist for 14 years, has formally announced her decision to end all ties with the platinum pisser. What took so long? Mind you, 2007, that's before the trial.
Dude.
It says in her statement, Daniels writes, I have prided myself on loyalty, respect, and professionalism. It saddens me that I was not always shown those same courtesies during my 14-year tenure as Mr. Kelly's publicist. There are some lines that should never be crossed, professionally or personally. Mr. Kelly crossed a line that forever altered the scope of our relationship. For this reason, I made the decision to resign." And then TMZ said, "Damn." 5 years ago, R. Kelly was charged with 14 counts of child pornography. He has yet to go to trial, but proceedings should kick off next spring. Okay, so TMZ didn't go into detail here about what happened, but we know something happened. So let's look that up. Okay, let's see. Y'all see that? Okay. R. Kelly's former associate claims singer had a secret fling with his daughter. So the wife was the publicist, and the dad also worked with R. Kelly. He was a radio, I think he was a music buyer. So the story says, when R. Kelly's longtime publicist, Regina Daniels, announced her resignation last November, she didn't give a reason why, other than to say that the singer had crossed the line. People wondered what that line was, prompting months of speculation and rumors, which centered on Kelly's alleged relationship with Daniels' daughter. Now, the publicist's husband, music retailer George Daniels, who has also worked with Kelly, is taking and confirming that Kelly's relationship with the couple's alleged college-age daughter caused them to disassociate from the embattled R&B singer, currently awaiting trial on child pornography charges. In an interview with Los Angeles urban radio station KJLH, George Daniels expressed outrage that R. Kelly, who he said was like a son to him and his wife, would have gotten into a secret relationship with his 21-year-old daughter, Maxine, who has known Kelly since she was 7. He has known this girl since she was 7 years old. Okay, and it says, in essence, would be his sister. Daniels called it a betrayal. Maxine, her father said, was lured away from her studies by Kelly's expensive gifts, which included a car. And this is the same as Joycelyn. In college, whole life ahead of her, and here he comes. And doesn't he think to himself, like, I'm gonna let her flourish. I want her to do good and have an education. And no, he takes them out of their environment that they're thriving in.
Hell yeah, he didn't even finish high school.
Yeah, he doesn't have any regard for education, or he doesn't see the value in it himself, of course. And even if you don't, if somebody's in college, I mean, let them live. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not like he took her away from, he caught her in a trafficking ring or something. He brought her out of it. He instead probably put her in one. Probably was going to, if her parents hadn't. I don't know. Who knows where that even went? But let's finish reading this. So he gave her a car, expensive gifts. It says, when a child is sidetracked, when a child is persuaded to lie, to go against her parents' wishes, George told KJLH, when you have the toys and the gifts and the shopping sprees, that'll turn anybody. Daniel said he had no sense of Kelly's intentions toward Maxine until she disclosed the relationship to him and his wife at a party. She, in quotes, it didn't get to that extreme of, it said, the alleged sex tape, Daniel said, but he crossed the line. While acknowledging that Maxine is an adult, Daniel said that she was still vulnerable, pointing out that people in her age range can still be 15 or 16 mentally. People in power, especially entertainers, take advantage, Daniel said. I confronted him and he denied it, lied to me to my face, he said. So R. Kelly couldn't even be honest. First of all, he's a snake for even dealing with their daughter. If you know somebody from the age of 7 years old as a grown-ass man, and you then pursue a relationship or a sexual relationship, and who knows if it was even waiting, maybe they didn't find out until she was legal age, but we don't know, what really was happening before that. Okay, so this is the one that was the birthday party one. Okay, for his part, Kelly, who has been separated from his wife since 2005, said that via a spokesperson that George and Regina Daniels not only knew about the relationship, But they also encouraged it while Regina was still on Kelly's payroll. And then in quotes, it was Regina Daniels who persuaded Kelly to attend her stepdaughter's 21st birthday party, the spokesman said, end quote. And it was Regina Daniels who shortly thereafter gave her stepdaughter Mr. Kelly's private phone number with the admonition, don't tell your father. So Regina is the stepmother who was working with R. Kelly for 14 years. She had a relationship with him, a close one, clearly. And they're saying she's the one who encouraged the relationship, encouraged him to come to the party and whatnot. Don't tell your father, though. So she sounds like an enabler who served up her own stepdaughter. But at the end of the day, he did what he did. And that was disgusting how he went behind those people like that. And then if he, and they still didn't say what it was. If they didn't say it was the relationship itself that caused the rift, even though that probably pissed him off. But the daughter told him something. Did she tell him she had herpes? That he gave it to her? Something happened. Kelly's spokesperson claimed Daniels resigned to avoid being fired for incompetence, it says. See, there he goes with his side of the story, always, wanting to make the other person look bad. And it was only afterward that the relationship became an issue for her and her husband. As for the outrage, it's hard to take seriously, the spokesman said. George Daniels said Maxine's grades at Northern Illinois University slipped during the relationship, but she's fine now. Her grades are back up. He said Daniels said his motivation is going public was to encourage other parents to pay attention so they can avoid similar situation. It doesn't have to be a superstar, he said. So that was that one. Now, this doesn't necessarily lead to, not saying that she wasn't underage. It doesn't say any of that. But what he did was super inappropriate. And it just speaks to the boundaries that he crosses regularly. And he doesn't even flinch. He doesn't bat an eye when he does these things. It's like normal, everyday business for him.
Yeah. He crosses the line every chance he gets, just like when I found the video with Yo-Yo, the first time he had ever been in the presence of her daughter. Now, they've been calling each other bro and sis for over 15 years. First time she ever let her daughter be in his presence. And her daughter was 21, I believe. But she was like, oh, he invited her to the studio and listened to a new beat track, whatever you call it. She said they wasn't there 12 minutes. And he'd already slipped his number to her daughter. Like that fast. She was like, first time he's ever even seen my child, been in the room, and this is what he does. She was like, he got to be stopped. She was like, and it ruined the friendship that she thought that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, he just can't wait to get around a child. He cannot wait. Anybody's child.
It's a sickness.
I mean, he done fooled people. Some people that never saw that sickness side of him, because they did mention that he knew certain people he didn't have that mess around because he either will get told on or get his ass beat or something. So he knew how to carry himself around certain people. Like, oh, I can't be doing this. I got to talk this way, walk this way. And then as soon as he get, and they thinking like, oh yeah, I ain't never seen that side. I don't know what you're talking about. He never did that to me and never gave me that feeling. He my friend or whatever and everything. Take your child around him. You gonna just see just how cool and your friend he is.
This is the picture of them. I want to show this real quick.
How we know he ain't slept with Greenberg and them kids? Maybe that's why they pulled out. Ain't no telling. They probably saw one of them tapes.
Oh Lord.
That ain't nobody gonna let that man around. That's their client. Ain't nobody gonna let their children around that man.
I don't know if you can see this kind of small.
I can see it. If he had those crooked lawyers like Ed Jensen and the judge that he was at their family barbecue for that money hunting, they was like, sure, Kels. Yeah. Get Robert what he needs. Well, how many we have? Okay, 50, bring him in.
Wow. Another young, beautiful black girl.
Yeah, she is beautiful. And look at her. He's standing there. He
Remember
been
the
looking at
crisis
her since she was
manager?
7 years old.
The crisis manager.
Remember the crisis manager got let go? Well, immediately when they interviewed the
Hmm.
crisis manager and they asked him, "Would you bring your child around him?" and he said, "I would never bring my child around someone who's been accused of being a pedophile."
I
And you
remember.
know what? His whole face expression changed. Like he got pissed off just the thought of it, of R. Kelly being around his. He looked like steam was coming from his eyeballs. He was looking like my child, or like he had foreseen the whole situation, like it really happened. Because I was like, I said, but see, that's the thing. It should not be a difference when it comes to your child. He touched somebody else's child. It should still the same mental and attitudes should apply if for the next person's child. Not just, oh, when it comes to mine, it's all, oh hell no. But I don't care if my next door neighbor child, I didn't name my baby, so I don't care. No, you should have the same attitude and energy for any child. Because it just possibly could have been yours.
Imagine laying in jail for 2 years,
Hmm.
thinking all that you lost, all of this that you had, homes, all these stars, all this music you made, people, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, all these hit albums, all of this. You were big, you were on top, and you threw it all away just for this because of a sickness. They're not going to hold you in jail for nothing. And
Yeah.
again, even though if someone did not, if somebody probably don't follow him, or some people, like I said, I know some people don't even know who he is. But again, you watch a Surviving R. Kelly, you talk to these girls to say, they all say basically the same thing, and they didn't know each other. A pattern. I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm just sitting there thinking this. I mean, you have to think you're laying in jail. All that I had is gone for
Hmm.
this.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking at something on
I
my
had
phone.
thought about that. And then the supporters like, oh, the girls had this lavish lifestyle. If you really think about it, when you see the footage of how he was living, it was basic. He didn't even have a 50-inch TV. I mean, he had his baby doll house and stuff, but how is that a lavish lifestyle? And he rented everything. Like you didn't even buy hell, even Detroit have homes for $1 that you could buy off the city that go up for auction because people back taxes might owe 1,000 or 500 for property taxes unpaid, and you could fix make it livable. Hell, he wouldn't even do that, but he was paying out $500,000 and $200,000 for hush money about the assault that he did. That ain't going out the world asshole backwards. I don't know what else is
Exactly.
right.
You're not gonna
And
be
he up
paying
here,
nobody that money for nothing.
and
You're
you
not
don't
gonna
even
pay
own a
nobody no
lollipop,
money.
no pack of bubble gum. Yeah, he don't even own this damn gold stars and pack of glitter. And this was in marked down to 25, 50 cents. He ain't got nothing to show for his 30 years while he was doing all that grandstand, that speech that he made with his little cognac and want to have a cigar and hollering with all the layers of clothes looking like Jack the Ripper. It's too late. It's too late. I gave him 30 years. I want to propose a toast. I done injected and infected the world with the music. All this bullshit.
And I
Boy,
would like to make a toast to, because all y'all motherfuckers up in the room right here, because of you all, is
yeah,
how I got where I'm at today.
he said you
Yeah.
all some strong motherfuckers, cause I know the shit that I done put on y'all, and you're still here. These dumbass people. Oh, hip hip hooray! He's basically saying you stupid ass that y'all some strong boy talking about strong, cause I know the bullshit that I done put on y'all, and you dummies still sitting here.
I just want the witnesses. I mean, I just hope that, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be prepared, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be brutal on that stand.
Yeah.
That's why I pray that God keep their mental and their strength and spirits up throughout this trial. all the way around everybody, and let them be able to make it through and let justice be done. Please let it be done. I hope he get held accountable for any and everything that he's ever done. Because a lot of those kids have already been failed, not just by family, but by the law officials and in the court. I mean, just over the years of time, and just being failed. And I say the one victim that was in the initial tape, I still say she's still being failed by the family because they giving him a shout out in this man obituary at his funeral. So she's still being failed by her family, and
I
that's terrible.
agree.
That's
I
devastating.
agree. Since
Y'all
all that
still got
long
his
time
back.
she was living in that man's basement. That's why he was on a. That's why he said what he said on that Gayle King show, because he knew it when he was saying, "You're saying that parents are okay with this. Your parents sold that you
Yeah,
sold them. First of all, why would you even buy somebody's child?
how
That
do
just
you do
sounds so
that?
stupid.
That's
Talking about the
illegal.
they paid their daughter to me. They gave her to me.
So
He
maybe he
talking about
just think it's okay. For like I
he
said, Rashonda Lane, that poor child, the stories that girl can tell out of her mouth.
and then the dad still playing, got still doing the whatever he was playing for him for over years, and I I don't understand. And then like the one Rocky Bibbins was the one that said a lifetime, the engineer. He said that she was in the garage with two other young girls. He hit her out. He had her in a
Yeah,
garage.
you're absolutely right.
That
He
was
sure enough
that
did
was
say
Peter
that.
Mokrin, the
Oh,
engineer.
Peter. Oh, okay. He said that, and I brought her 21st birthday cake and realized that's the girl in the tape. And he was like, had it out for years.
He sure enough did say that. So
And
again,
then
keep
that's
going.
terrible in a garage. Sometimes even chained up. That's why he told herself, he told Gail King, it's to get people really in basements, shackled up. Okay, yeah, we taking note of that. You done said, you done emphasize on that. Let's document that, y'all.
Exactly. And where are they at? Tell
Yeah,
us, because
where are they? Yep. And when he kept, I wonder why was he focused out of all the cameras and TVs that they had. Did y'all notice during that Gayle King interview, he kept asking about that particular third camera? He kept saying, is that camera still on? Is this one right here still rolling? Why did he need to know that particular camera was still rolling? Who was he talking to? Was he talking to the industry people? Them entities, or was he trying to, I don't know. But that one particular camera, he kept asking throughout the interview, is this one on still rolling? Yes, it is, R. Kelly, Robert, whatever she called him. And he just had to make sure that particular camera was still rolling. And I wonder why. I really want to know what was so special about that one camera in that room.
And remember when she interviewed the girls,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't supposed to be there, and she said you could hear him in the back clearing his throat, just to
And
let them
stomping
know
his
he was
feet.
there.
Yep,
And
and stomping
coughing,
his feet.
yeah.
Yep. They
So
said
Queen,
he knew the layout of the building. He been knew that. He snuck in through one of the entry doors and staircase and stuff. So he'd already knew the blueprint of that place. He's a slick. That's past militant. His mental state. That's why he's a genius. He is something else. He's something else, boy. That motherfucker's something else. That's
I want
why
to
And it's
address
he
still
Queen's
going
comment.
on.
She said, being that they shout him out, I'm hoping the parents told the grand jury it was her and not lying, saying it wasn't her still. And yeah, I believe they all testified to the grand jury that it was her. Yeah,
I
Hazel,
think it's time
Roger Bivens
that
was definitely the one who was at that wedding, and he was an assistant and then a performer. I got his scoop too. We're gonna read it. We're gonna talk about him too on part 3 of the music industry and how they enabled R. Kelly. So tune into that one. We'll probably do that one live. I like to do lives just because it's easier than uploading. It's just a lot of less work, the lazy way.
I wonder, is he worth it when some of these people, because I believe it is going to be some more people be incarcerated, whether they was originally facing 30 years, they might do 20 years. But I wonder, do they think it's worth it for him? Like me doing prison time, I'm already in my 50s or whatever, and I gotta go sit. Now it's time for me to turn myself in. I've been out on bond. I gotta go do this, just sit it down for over 10 years. I want to know in their mind, logical mind, because he screwed everybody in the end, far as financially. Nobody's A lot of them that filed bankrupt, lost their homes,
Yeah.
cars.
Nobody made out nothing. He made sure he was tight.
So is it really, is he worth it? Yo, hold on. Now you in the pen, your family lost it. Was he worth it? Was he worth it? I just want to know, do they think, and they might do thinking they mind is worth it. They might be thinking that I took one for the team. I'm a
That's not
real,
taking one from the team. Reading them text, man. That's not taking one for the team.
I earned my stripes. So I'm a kill stripes.
No. That's why it's going to be over 60 something witnesses. Remember? 60
Yes.
something witnesses. So that's why I said
The list is
everybody.
probably growing too.
Huh?
I said that list is probably growing.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
again,
just what they want
everybody is speculating. Everybody have their version. They think what's going to happen. They think they know. They think they know this man. Same thing with us. You got over 100 something videotapes. You got 60 something witnesses. You have paid out thousands and thousands of dollars. You never sued nobody. Girl's car was burned up. Y'all tried to pay the girl money. All kind of stuff. Bribery. All kind of stuff.
Did you mention the 100+ digital devices?
Yes, that's what I just said. The videotapes, the devices that you remember. I remember the Demetrius guy said, "I just can't stop filming myself. I gotta film myself."
And he told his brother that too, because Carrie spoke about that and said how he broke down in the bedroom, had a poster of himself on the back of the door, and he said that man right there is a very bad man. And then they said like two personalities, and he said that he just broke down, was like, I got a problem. And then Bruce said when he turned around, he still was taken back. He was like, I knew I had two white girls, but they were brown. I was like, dang. And he was like, but when he showed me the wall, he said the wall opened up in that room that he had installed and reconstructed every property that he had, the Colorado room, he called it. He said all them tapes. And Bruce said that he looked and he said that R. Kelly broke down crying and told him, I got a problem. And he said, I did all of this. And then showed him, I even filmed you too. And he just
so
was like,
so if you knew you had a problem back then, you should have tried to get some help for yourself instead of hiding and continuing to do or try to make an excuse for it.
He got himself a witch doctor. That's what he did.
Let me get evidence. Let everybody incriminate themselves. So if I go down, we all can go down together.
Yeah, because I think right after
something up.
After he did all that crying and falling out, he had because this collaborates what he put in that book where Bruce said that the people from the church were supposed to come, pray with him, hold hands, do the savior thing or whatever, and grace. He ended up sleeping with one of the people in the prayer group, a lady that wear the red shade lipstick, because she saw the same tapes in the wall too. So you did all this falling out, crying to your bros. Oh, pray for me, help me. I'm so sorry, but you really getting off on his reaction because you let him know you ain't either. And after your brother that had your back was trying to convince the other brother to take a fall in behind you, he going fighting tooth and nail, and then all along it was time for another sex session to arrive. And then he told on himself because he put that in his book too as well.
So then, so you admit to certain family members or whatever that you got a problem. Yeah. However, you get to the court and deny every single charge. Everything is you didn't do none of it. Not one of it. None of it.
And Bruce mentioned the wall too. And they said if you look at that tape with Lil Shawty Lamprey, they mentioned the wall. They pointed it out, said how it opens up, and he had all those tapes, stacked, labeled, and stacked up. And the hidden cameras installed. You know what I'm saying? You thinking that they the recess lights and everything. There's really a camera filming yourself.
Yes, he definitely had a problem. Queen says he slept with Sparkle too. He can't help himself. It's like everyone he was around. Yeah, he can't. Everybody he seemed like he laid his eyes on. Next thing you know, he invited them into the bathroom. Or
I wondered, do y'all think that him and Demetrius Smith got down? I think they did. He said that he denied him when R. Kelly came sliding in the room with his robe, making it jump in his face, and told him that wasn't funny, but it was funny.
Who would approach Demetrius? I mean, that's just, I don't know. They probably did. He's sick.
Demetrius
And,
said that R. Kelly
look,
goes sliding there doing the Michael Jackson.
we know the position he likes with his boys. He don't even have to look at them in the face, so I guess it don't matter.
He said, "You want it, you know you want it."
Oh, wow. Well, look, I'm done. I'm back tomorrow with Shout of Love and not doing Messy Monday. If you missed why, go back into the replay. I'll talk about that at the beginning of this. It's been 3 hours. I'm done. Okay, I'm done with y'all.
Before I forget, I know that's not funny.
And I'm done with you too.
Before I forget,
Well, I'm sending love and light and blessings to everybody. It's
Fuck out of here.
1:30. I'm tired.
That's
I'm
my
right
mood
here,
right
Miss
now.
P. I'm already prepping to go to bed.
Okay.
Andrew said he describes himself as a third person when he's talking to Carrie. Yeah, like it wasn't him; it was his alter ego or his other demon inside of him.
I just want to say, happy birthday to Miss Denise. Birthday shout out to her. And
birthday, Miss Boom Boom.
And
birthday,
Mary
Miss Boom Boom.
We miss you, Mary Blue. If you see this, haven't seen you in a while.
Shout out to Mary Blue.
Yeah, shout out Mary.
Strawberry.
And thank you everybody for always hanging with us, sticking with us, supporting us, and especially accepting us, like myself. And much blessings and peace to everybody, all of us tonight.
Same to you. Grogu, Baby Yoda is saying the same thing.
We love you, Baby Yoda.
Actually, I have it on.
Yellow hearts for Joycelyn'S, because I found out that yellow is her favorite color. So yellow hearts, if y'all can, in the chat for baby girl. We're still praying for her too. And Joy, if you ever see this, baby girl, know that you are powerful. You can tap in your inner self, and your ancestors, tribe family got your back, honey. Ain't nothing and nobody overpower spirit, and you gonna be okay. You get out the situation, and we supporting you, whether spiritually and emotionally. We got your back. You gonna be all right. And sending major love to you.
Yes, and everybody on the replay of the chat, become a member. I think the lowest rate is 99 cents, and go in and check out those greetings that Goddess has done. They're really good.
And we're gonna keep rocking with those. I think Friday nights I'm gonna stick with them for now, but you never know. You never know what you're gonna get. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell at the top for all notifications. And we'll be back here live on Wednesday, the first day of our opening arguments, and hopefully we're gonna be able to dissect those opening arguments.
Yes. I am
Yes.
Yes.
Me neither. I can't wait.
And of course, in the meantime, the judge, we're waiting on, I think the defense may be able to respond to this latest response, but we're waiting on the judge. Waiting on the judge's order to see what she's going to do. She going to let them dismiss any of these charges or not? So we're going to let you know as soon as we find out. All right, y'all. Much love, peace, and love.
Bye.